was a pen and pad, turn the TV down, get quiet on the set at the house, because we're going to get into it. Remember, this is an entrepreneur class. Just giving you guys friendly reminders. So most of the stuff we teach you is in the context of entrepreneurship. So it means if you want to make more money or you want your business to be more successful, what we know as entrepreneurs is the better you are as a human, the better your business is going to be. That's how it goes. You can't separate the two. Can't separate you from the core of your business. So us as black folks, we know that most of the nuggets we need to do better in business, it starts with us as humans, as people. And it's the scariest parts. We can easily teach you how to look at a P&L or balance sheet, or here's some 3 or 4 or 5 marketing tips that can get you more likes on Instagram, and all the plays and nuts and bolts to entrepreneurship. And we can do that and it still wouldn't work. Why? Because if you sabotaging yourself because of some shit that happened to you as a child, no matter how much good game I give you, you ain't gonna be able to implement it. And if it's a blind spot for you where you don't even know it exists, then you think there are some invisible forces that are holding you down. So what this class is doing is, have you ever watched Scooby-Doo back in the day? And it was always like some scary shit and a ghost and this, and the whole episode, it looked like it was a ghost or some scary shit or a monster. And at the last part of the episode, they opened the curtain and it showed that it was a person with a speakerphone or whatever, which showed you behind the curtain. And what we're saying is, all the things that you think are holding you back as an entrepreneur, They seem like these invisible forces, these scary invisible monsters and these forces. And what we doing is just going straight to that curtain and opening them up for you and saying, look, this is just a person. He's just with a speakerphone. Now, the second part is up to you. Because we can't do the action for you. We can't take the action for you. You got to take the action. You got to step out there. You got to go after it. And there's never no one right answer, one way. The beauty of the class, though, is that it's taught by folks that are in the battlefield with you real time. And they businesses is on the line right as we speak, real time. So you got to back the shit up that we say. But the action part has to be taken from you. Do you guys, anybody remember when we talked about alloying? What an alloy is? Does anybody know what a definition of an alloy is? What an alloy is you have these base metals. You have these base metals that rock, iron, certain things that are in our bodies, but also out there in the world. And iron is strong as fuck, right? Iron is strong as fuck. But you mix it with another chemical. You heat it up and melt it, and when you mix it with another chemical, it makes steel. And steel is even stronger than iron. And that's alloying. That's alloying. And so what we do here is we take you and we take this knowledge. The idea is for it to alloy you. You alloy the knowledge, and now you become stronger and better than you were yesterday. But the knowledge has to be applied in order for the alloy to stick. That's where the heat comes in, right? You can't just stick two metals together. Got to heat them up, melt them up, and then when they dry, it's the alloy. The heat here is the action you got to take with the knowledge. Knowledge by itself does nothing. But the heat of the work you do, trying to make it work, and the effort melts the knowledge and you together, so now you come out of there stronger. So we can't do that shit for you. So you got to think of yourself, and you got to think of the knowledge as alloy, and it's only just sitting there as a base metal doing nothing unless you apply your heat to it. That's the practice. Man, that's our goal. Every fucking year, we go hella hard trying to figure out how we can improve, how we can get better, to impress upon you how important it is for us to grow as entrepreneurs. Man, it's more important now than ever. Categorically, we still getting our ass whooped. After George Floyd, after all the money that was poured into the black community, we still getting our ass whooped. Why? As a group, as a race of folks, why? It's because we are not alloying knowledge. We just want the quick fix. I just want the end. And a lot of times the entrepreneurship shit, we just want the quick fixes. We just want the bubblegum versions of shit. And that's not how the game go. So remember, knowledge is to be applied. You become the alloy. Meaning, when I see you, you got to be different. What did it do to you? Ever been in a relationship with somebody and you just felt better or you felt worse, depending, because you alloyed yourself with that person. With that person, it changed, altered you. That's what alloying does. So I just want to tap into that, because really there's not a lot of learning nothing new. We're going to be teaching a lot of the same shit, just different ways and different angles to help us get it better. Most of the shit that we're going to be teaching is chopped and screwed versions of other stuff that has been taught before by us. But what I would like for you to do is when you listen and you hear and you take notes, think about where and when you can apply it. It's interesting. When and when can I apply this? What could I do with this? That's game. What can I do with this though? What can I do with it? That's the key. So this shit's these slides are simple, but it's very complex and it's life-changing shit. So let's get into it. Curiosity, part 2. Next slide. One more. All right. Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me? Yes, you can.
I sure can.
Because I can hear me. Okay. The path to rapid learning is through being curious.
So, the path to rapid learning is through being curious. So, this is how serious and deep this simple paragraph is. I have a lot of basketball analogies because a lot of times that's all I know. But just ride with me for a second. In the basketball world, everybody wants a competitive advantage because everybody wants to, and or as a parent, they want their kid to make it to the NBA, right? So when the kid's 5, 6 years old, they already got the kid on a fast track. He training, he got a nutritionist, he going to practice 3 times a week, going to games all weekend, and we funding it all, and we like you going to the league. It's not like there's a lack of basketball courts out there to play with, courts to practice on, coaches, teams to play on. They're every fucking where. You know what the difference is? The type of training, who's training you, and what they're training you. So if you start off at 5, 6 years old and your trainer played D1 basketball or played in the pros, the speed at which you're going to gain momentum in basics, immediate and advanced techniques, tactics, and moves in basketball is going to be much different than if you a dad just taking your kid out to get up 100 shots, even though you think that's something because y'all could have been on the couch watching TV. So we out here practicing. Kid A is out here practicing, but kid B has partnered with somebody who played in the league, and now they're practicing a certain way. And he's instilling certain mindset in the kid early to make sure that he maintains his confidence when he misses, to keep his level head when he's making it, when he's doing well. And it's all these tiny nuances that are just slightly tweaks of what dad and son are doing. And if you was to walk up on dad and son and to walk up on trainer and kid, with the naked eye, it probably would be hard to tell the difference between the two. But over years, you'll see the trajectory change. Maybe second grade, they'll start being the same, and then all of a sudden you see a split. What's happening? We're doing the same thing. Sometimes dad and son is on this court, and trainer and kid is on the other court in the same gym. What's happening? It's the speed at which he's learning. So dad and son, let me go back. Trainer and kid are probably 3 or 4 years ahead of dad and son in 2 or 3 years. because it's not about training at this point. Because if everybody's doing it, now it's equalized. It's neutralized. Now it's what are the nuances and details that allow person A to advance faster than person B. In this game, you got to know this kind of shit because it could be huge. It could be huge. And in entrepreneurship and in basketball and in sports and other things, you have windows of time. So if you fuck up the window of time, then it's hard getting back. Because if you're 30 years old and be like, man, I finally got the game now, I'm going to go start training basketball and make the league, that shit's over. It's over. So this is critical. It's critical. Why does it seem like there are people out there who are getting to the bag faster or getting to relationship? Why does it seem like it comes down to learning? And the only way you can learn is to be curious. The only way you can learn fast is to turn up your curiosity even more. That's how you get there. This is damn near a secret sauce. When you can walk into a room and be comfortable being the dumbest motherfucker in the room, you're dangerous. You're dangerous. Period. You ain't got no projections. You're not trying to say what you know, what you did, where you from, where you been. None of that shit. That's how you progress fast. This is in terms of like, if you want to wrap your businesses up, it's an absolute must. So that's why when it's time to learn, I don't know shit. Damn, Court, why you so quiet? Man, I'm just listening. Catch me outside this class in any event. Fucking panel, anything. I ain't heard from Court this whole time because I'm listening and learning. I'm observing. Why? What's going? Okay, what? I'm trying to get context. I'm trying to get information. Okay, let me keep listening. And that takes curiosity. I wonder what's going on. It's interesting. Not projecting. Being curious. Does anybody have an idea of actually what being curious actually means? Anybody? Shakina and Kaja.
I don't think it's on. There it goes. For me, when I think of curiosity, I think about questions instead of statements, and almost like play. What I mean by that is when you're curious, it's really hard to be extremely serious, or like overly taking yourself too seriously because you're committed to a thought process. And when you're curious, you're okay with being wrong. You're okay with not knowing. The unknown is almost exciting. So that's how I frame it.
It's good.
I frame it as, this is loud. I frame it as trying to understand the relationship of root causes to things that have happened in the past to help you contextualize what's happening in the present moment.
That works too. It's a good answer too. Shabisha and then Fern.
Being slow to make connections. So if I came into this room I'm just looking to see that the clock is on the wall, and I see what time it is, and I see that there's a green exit sign. And I might look to see how the chairs are arranged and what's over here. But I'm intentionally backing away from making any sort of connection about that.
Good input. Fern?
When I think of curiosity, it that word draws me to my goddaughter. She'll be 2 Friday, and when she's in spaces, she's just open, and it's like the first time she's experiencing things, and so she's touching everything. She's trying it out. She's licking rocks, and I'm letting her do the shit. I feel like a white parent sometimes. Where you do whatever you want to do. You rolling through the sand. You doing all the shit. Just because it's an for me. I'm looking at her as it's the first time she's experiencing it, and so when I think of curiosity, it's like approaching things as if it's the first time I'm experiencing it, to get the juice.
Good answer. All those are good answers. How many have ever started a new job? Anybody ever start a new job? Okay, so we all on the same page with that. Have you ever started a new job? You're at the new job, and you start coming up with, say, suggestions for certain things, and people who've been there 10, 15 years think you the dopest person on the planet. Like, that's a great idea. That's a good idea. You come up with another. How about this? It's a great idea. Have you ever been in those situations where you come up with ideas and you're the newest person on board and everybody thinks it's dope? Why do you think that is? It's because when you're new, you're like that 2-year-old. Everything you see is new. There's no judgments yet. You're just observing. Oh, that's interesting. Why you guys do that way? Why don't you just give it from that person to that person? They're like, damn, I didn't think about that. Why? It's because when you're enveloped in a system for so long, you get lulled by your assumptions. You lose your curiosity. And now it's just the way it is. But you don't have that yet. So you like, why don't you just try that? Or do this. And they're like, that's a great. The idea is for us to move like that 2-year-old girl and like this your first month at a new job all the time. That's entrepreneurship. That's entrepreneurship. Because the minute you stop being curious, you lose the ability to learn. And learning and scaling are brother and sister. So if you can't learn, then you can't grow. And if you can't grow, you can't scale. And that's how we get stuck a lot. This is like the key to life and shit. Now, I could have tried to make the paragraph look more fancy and like tried to make it put bigger words. But for the sake of understanding, this basic terminology right here can be life-changing, because curiosity is the key to the shit you want. It's interesting. Now, if you go back and take the assumptions element to it, when you are always curious, then it freezes assumptive thinking. Because now you're a kid. You ain't been here before. I want to touch it. Can I eat it? No, you can't eat it. What can I do with this? What is it? What that 2-year-old girl is really doing is first principle thinking. Little kids are masters at first principle. Because they just want to find out, what is it? Can I pour it? Can I eat it? Can I drink it? Can I smell it? What is it? Next slide. Now,
Four competencies trump all leadership success. 1, self-awareness.
okay, so these are the competencies that you need to put in your toolbox at all times. 1, self-awareness. So, why is self-awareness so challenging? Because we lie to our fucking selves all the time. A lot of times we lie to ourselves and or we're delusional about where we are. And 3, we just simply don't know. So between us lying to ourselves, us running from our truths, and us being delusional, we have very, very little self-awareness. Where am I? Where am I? That is the question. Where am I? Where am I on what scale? On micro, macro, meta scale, where am I? Where am I in the micro? So, go back to sports. You tell an athlete, most athletes, when it comes to their ability on the court, because they play at the highest level, their self-awareness in terms of their abilities are extremely good. Scale of 1 to 10, where do you rate in the NBA? They're damn close. Can you beat this person? If you have to guard Steph Curry tonight, how much is he scoring on you? He's scoring about this many points. Very accurate, very close to accuracy. He's going to have 2 steals, 14, this many assists, because your livelihood depends on your accuracy. You got to know. And day in, day out, night in, night out, you got to know where you at. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 7 tonight. If I'm playing against this team, 7's okay. But if I'm playing against, I'm in trouble. So translate that to you. Self-awareness is of absolute importance. You got to know when you're compromised. If you don't know when you're compromised, then that means you're free to run around trying to make decisions in a compromised state. So, being completely honest with yourself and asking, where am I in this situation? Where am I? Where am I with my money? Where am I in my relationships? Where am I with my health? Where am I in my business? Where am I? Where am I? Where am I? And be 100% honest with yourself. This is that keep it real shit. I don't know if there's any seminar on getting rich or becoming a billionaire or a millionaire in business that you're going to go to and see a slide that says self-awareness. Hell no. You know why? Because that's too introspective and it's hard as fuck to do. But if you don't do it, we ain't getting nowhere. That's why self-awareness is a number 1 importance. Know thyself. Can you say you suck at something and not cry or wet your pillow all night? Don't be pausing me now. Come on, bro.
No, I'm looking around because okay.
Cry yourself to sleep. Cry yourself to sleep. This one is big. Self-awareness. Then self-awareness also keeps you humble. Next one.
Learning agility.
Learning agility. So that goes back to the next slide. If you are in constant state of learning, always improving, that also keeps you humble. And learning agility allows you to continue to scale and add connections in your brain about things. And you're always seeing new pathways in order to get stuff done. So learning agility is being here in this class. Makes you comfortable around other people's perspectives. Somebody don't agree with you. Somebody you don't like. You can still sit down and listen and be able to extract key information that can help you get better. Man, that's where curiosity and rapid learning comes from. If you can see patterns and studying people that in history that people consider quote unquote bad, that allows you to plan for the future. Next.
Communication.
Communication. Leaders have to be able to talk to a group, a person, an employee, a customer. Communication is key. It's of utmost importance. Why? Can anybody have any ideas why?
That sets the tone for the culture of the organization.
True. So company culture. She says it sets the tone for company culture.
I would say for me, the way I always try to look at communication is like it's a point of connection. So when I'm communicating with a client or somebody on the team, it's me connecting with them and seeing their humanity, right? So we talk about having that kind of human approach to communicating. So for me, it is all about connecting.
That's a great word, connection. So communicating connects two people, and it aligns them to the same vision, mission. And you have to learn how to do that effectively. If you're like, I don't like people, or I don't like talking to people, you have a tough time as an entrepreneur, because people are your business. Your product is not the business. People are your business. Shakina?
Hello. When I think communication, I think about how it impacts strategy and the ability to deviate. So if you're not a clear communicator, there's a lot of assumptions that happen in day-to-day life and relationships and businesses. And so being able to clearly communicate allows you to pivot a lot smoother, and while maintaining the trust factor of being the trusted advisor, because people understand that you're making the decisions in the benefit of them as well.
Yeah, true. Communicate. Go ahead.
So online said alignment. But I'll add communication, not to what was said, but communication is also you listening. So often,
Great point.
I learned this from Nana because I was very focused when I first met him on communication too. I wasn't a very good listener. Because I was always listening to get you to understand what I wanted you to understand, not necessarily listening to you without judgment, right? So it took a lot of training to lower my own stuff to actually hear you in your own context. So I would say communication, like you're a doer, right? So I'm listening, got it, good. No, you haven't heard anything. You haven't heard anything, right? So communication is your ability to listen and observe, to listen deeply and to observe. It is a two-way street. And because communication is so important in relationship building, nobody wants to be in a relationship with someone who never listens to them.
Good point. So in communication, you can influence, you can manipulate. You can defend. You can instill fear. You can instill trust. You can align. You can draw towards, you can push away. Like communication, words are so powerful. So we also have to understand how we use our words. Because communication envelops all those things. Did you know in Hebrew, the word and the word thing is the same word? The word and the word thing is the same word. Because in their culture, they believe words are so powerful that what you say comes true. And I believe there's some truth to that. So you can burn bridges, it's murder, anything can happen. So if you in this game of entrepreneurship, no matter where you are currently, you have to commit yourself to learn the art of communication. Because you could influence somebody to buy your product, influence somebody to invest in your brand, influence a whole market to shift from their competitors and come rock with you. Communication is key. Next one. No, I'm sorry, last one.
Influence.
Influence. So this is separate, but it's because it's powerful. Influence is the ability to be a magnet in a direction to have people be attracted to you and where you're going. You can attract people and take them with you to where you want them to go. Influence has a power to it, right? So the better communicator you are, the better influencer you are, the more power you have. So you have to also couple that with a level of integrity. Because you can damn near get what you want. I got partners, man, they got a mouthpiece so cold, so fucking cold, that most of the world is basically just at the mercy of his integrity and his morality. That's danger. But guess what? It's easy to move in the world. Bruh, my partner that's like that don't even need money. Hey, Court, where you at? I'm at home. Where you at? Oh, I'm at front row at the Warriors game. How the fuck you get them tickets? Because you ain't got no money. Come on, bro. You know me. Where you at? I'm at the fight. You at the fight? I'll call you when it's done. He calls me. I'm talking in Vegas, big fight. After the fight, he calls me again. He's in the house of one of the fighters. You lie. You ain't there. He FaceTimes and shows a picture inside the house. And then the fighter comes. I'm like, this dude, always been like that. Whether his money is high or low, whatever, because he's such a masterful communicator and super influential, his lifestyle stays the same.
Okay. I feel like I have a little bit of a mental block around being an influencer because I equate that to being a fidangler.
Fidangler.
Sorry.
That's a town word. That's a town word. Fidangler. For all you side busters. For all you side busters. For all you side busters out there, you fidangling.
My bad. Kaja, we gotta get your town business glossary together. You're supposed to know these by now.
That's hella funny.
But in all seriousness, I equate that like that fast, that fast talking, like that gift of gab, like I hate that. just telling you, like, when I see that, I'm always like, that's that old fadangling ass stuff. I don't like that behavior. I don't, and so I need a way to enter into that. How can I shift my judgment of that?
I'll start with this. That's your 5-block radius version, right? So that's just a story from the 5-block radius. Some people feel the same way about car salesmen, right? Because their engagement with salespeople or influence is condensed to those types of people. What we don't realize, though, is that we are being influenced every single day. If the ones you recognize that are influencers are low-level influencers. That's 1%. You can spot them. But the other 99, you can't see them, and you getting influenced like a motherfucker. The earrings that you're wearing, the shoes you're wearing, the outfits you have on, everything that MacBook that you typing on, the iPhone you on, is all from power of influence of some company or something. Influence. Now, here's another. If you go straight to just a person, would you consider Martin Luther King influential?
Yes.
Would you consider Malcolm X influential?
Yes.
What about Mother Teresa or Gandhi?
Yes.
What about the South African black dude,
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela?
Yeah.
Is he influential?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same coin.
But they put in work for that. It wasn't slick talk.
Well, you got to understand. Let's go back to the slide of curiosity, right? What is slick talk? What is slick talk?
Go with it now.
Do you want me to answer that?
Answer it.
Is that a return?
Yeah.
It depends on the context, but what comes to my mind is you're talking. Okay, slick talk is you talking real fast to get somebody out of their pants. Slick talk is you. I'm sorry. Don't look at me, Nana. I know I couldn't. This is what I came with. It's like you. Listen, like you talking real fast to get somebody to give you something that they weren't intending to give you. It's like a con. In my experience.
Okay, so
it's like when you in New York and they talking slick. It's some slick shit. It's not honorable.
okay, so here's a quick. If I have a knife, and I sell you a sharp knife, it's sharp, and I say this is one of the sharpest knives out. I do a little demonstration. Cuts paper, it cuts bread, it cuts all these sorts of things, right? If you have a restaurant, what are you thinking? What are you thinking about how you gonna use that knife? You're like, this knife is gonna be good. It's gonna be allowing me to cut quicker. I can go faster. I can do all sorts of things. I don't have to waste my time. Less cuts, more time equals money saved, right? If a military person comes up, what are they thinking? Man, this is be good to put on the end of my gun, bayonet. I can protect. So if I get into warfare, what does a mass murderer see when they see that? You see what I'm saying? Same knife.
Fair enough. I hear
You can't, like, influence is a sharp knife. The person using it, it's up to their integrity of what they're gonna do with it. So you can't judge the integrity of the person. You can't throw the influence out with the bathwater. You need influence. You just ran up on people who use it to get people out their pants.
And I used me too. Like, I was like, I'm trying to be a better person. I don't. No.
Yeah, right. You feel me? But y'all get my point? Yes,
I hear you. I hear what
You
you
see, it's all in the name of context. It's not like you need influence. Now, if you don't think you can handle it when you get it, then that's on you. You go to church. Go hit Pastor Chris up. But if you want to be a leader in this game, you're gonna have it. Because if you can point this way and the crowd can go this way, that's good. If y'all going in a direction of purpose, a direction of positivity, in a direction that elevates you, your community, your people, whatever you selling that helps people, you gonna want that. Did Jesus have influence?
Yes.
Did he just sit there and just spew off information, or did he do little tricks to make people be like, oh man, okay? Is that 5,000 loaves of bread? Did he just bring dude from the dead? Okay, whatever you say, whatever you selling, I'm buying. He didn't just use miracle, he used communication. He sat there and talked to him. And he used influence. Do you guys recall in the Bible how he got some of his apostles? There was one passage so cold. Jesus was so cold, so influential. It spit game to him. You know what he did? He saw two of the potential apostles that he wanted on his squad as one of the 12 out there fishing. And he was like, let me see, how can I get, all right. Hey, you guys, go put your nets over there and watch what happens. Because they were like, man, we've been fishing all day. We ain't catch nothing. He said, move your boat over there and put your nets over there. They put their nets over and all these fish jumps on board. And it's crazy amounts of fish. Miracle. He used his power of influence to get him to listen. Then when he got close enough to talk to him, he said, hey, follow me and I'll teach you to be fishers of men. That ain't no ABC 1, 2, 3. That's game and influence. So we have to learn how to be influential in what we do. Now everybody can do it in different ways. I'm definitely not the flashy dude who I'm not the dude who like to be in the front all the time. I do not. But I've learned that over time, there's power in having influence. Any questions on any of those four? Oh, anybody else want to say something? Okay. Any questions? All right, next slide.
The key to self-awareness is being in the present.
Okay. So, the key to self-awareness, that first one that we had looked at, we're in a culture of running. We're in a culture of running. We run our ass off from the present moment, from how we feeling, from the problems we got going on, from the pain. We running. And now hella shit, more shit's legal. Now used to be if I was in pain, I can drink myself to sleep. Now I can drink and smoke myself to sleep. And I can drink and smoke and scroll on Instagram myself to sleep.
Keep it going.
It's no end to what I can do to run from the present moment. So that's why we suffer so much from so much mental health. That's why we have so much mental health issues here, because we have so many outlets for us to run. First things is first. You got to be present. You got to be present. You gotta be in your body and here. All right, give it to me. Whatever it is. Hey, I got some good news and bad news. Which one you want first? Give me the good news and then run. No, give it to me. Man, don't give me that good news back. Give me all of it. What is it? What we got to do? What's the impact and what we got to do? So we got to be present in our bodies. Currently, my bank account is negative $14. If that's the case, that's the case. Don't run from it. Don't not look at your log in on the thing to see it. It's still there whether you log in or not. Let's keep it 100. Look, the first person you got to keep it 100 with is yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be in today's time right now. I'm masking myself around all these people and I'm truly unhappy. I am not happy. And this is where I am and this is how I feel. It's just like having those conversations with yourself to align. Where am I on a scale of 1 to 10? In my happiness, in my fulfillment, in my relationships, in my money, in my business. Where am I on a scale of 1 to 10? Let's do an exercise. Pull out a pad, pen. Get present for a second. Let's get present for a second. All right. On the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, where are you in your joy and happiness? Right now, in this moment. On the next question, on the scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your finances, your money? Next question, on the scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your relationships? Could be a love relationship, relationships with your children, overall relationships, where are you? Next question, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in your mental health? And that includes emotional, mental and emotional. Next question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with your physical health? Last question. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you with your relationship with your higher self, your creator, your God, whoever you worship, if any? Spiritually, where are you? Scale of 1 to 10. Anybody learn anything? Anybody learn anything in writing that down and really putting that to paper? Anybody want to? Yeah.
No, okay. Yeah, in just that quick exercise, I realized when we got to like the relationship part that I started scanning, like I was like, oh, I'm good with these people, but there are some areas and some people I really got to do some work, like in those spaces. So just that quickly, I was like, immediately I wanted to pull up the good people, like, oh, I'm golden, my best friend, 30 plus years. But then I was like, oh, damn, I'm sucking over here, and I got to do a lot of work over here. So the relationship was a big one for me. And then also money, because in my mind, I was like, girl, you getting by, you ain't broke. But then I had to catch myself, and I was like, you getting by, and you ain't broke. But that's not where you want to be. So those were like two really big ones. And the worst one for me was physical, because I was like, I'm doing good. High number. You hit physical. I looked at my sister. I said, now he done tanked me. He done tanked me, because I had to give myself a real honest, I'm trying. But I'm like, that's the area, like that's the Achilles heel. That's, y'all send me some good vibes, some energy, some, whatever, some advice. But no, I'm working on that. But I had to get real with myself. Like, you could do better, so.
I love that. Anybody? Press it.
Hello.
Is it green?
It's green.
Oh.
It's just not going. Oh,
There you
there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. It's interesting because my lowest number for me, it's interesting, is my spiritual. Because I was just raised super religious, and as I got older, I grew further and further away from organized religion and more in showing up in the way that I want to human. And I thought that was interesting because I rated myself a 4. Which is my lowest number, and most of my numbers range between like 6 and 7. And my mental health was low, was at a 5. And when I've done similar exercises like this in the past, I realized that the better that I feel emotionally and spiritually, all of my numbers elevate because I'm more connected. And that's just a personal thing for me. But also, too, I found it interesting that a lot of my numbers were falling very similar to each other. Like, there wasn't a lot of massive waves besides spirituality. Was like, I've rated myself a 4. But, like, my joy has been cool. Relationships been cool. Like 6, 7s. Not, like, fantastic, but not horrible. Like, above average. And I just would be curious as to if I felt better in my mental health space and my spiritual space, would my other numbers elevate to be higher?
Interesting. Interesting observation. Go ahead, Kaja. Interesting observation.
The finance one was one for me where I'm not performing there the way I would hope to. I lost a comma recently. And
I'm commas, man. It hurt.
yeah, I lost a comma. And
Yeah, that shit.
and
Ooh.
it really messed me up. Like, I did
sorry for
stop
your loss.
logging in. I think for the first time, I've felt the effects of how I've been living for probably like the last 2 years, just personally, and the way I've been moving and trying to get my business started, and now starting to feel the effects of, oh shit, you got to get a budget. Even though I have done a lot of work probably over the last 10 to 12 years to never have to think before I swipe. Like, that was an accomplishment for me because I had to work my way to that. And now I'm like, oh, you might want to look. So oh, you might want to think about how you're organizing an event, because I wouldn't do it the way I would have done it 18 months ago. So I'm working to get my comma back.
Hey, so this is one way to get your comma back. This is one way we get our commas back. Figurative, literal, spiritual, commas. And you, Nana, you stop me when I'm wrong, cause we gonna have a wolf conversation real quick. Check this out. we on this planet for, if we lucky, 80, 90. If we lucky, random shit could pop off where you're not here that much longer. You can, at any moment, right? If I'm living and I'm breathing and I'm capable, why the fuck would I live at anything below an 8? I can't do it. I'm gonna be going after it. My life got to be an 8 or above in everything. And if it's not, I got to strive to get it there. Life is boring underneath that. Plus, I ain't got that much time. I got to make an impact. And in order to make an impact, I got to go hard. I got to go. And I'm not talking about working hard. I'm saying I got to bring my numbers up. Because if I close my eyes and think of life where everything is 8, that's a dope ass life. You can look back there and you see, man, that's a dope ass life. Right? So you can't have an imbalanced one. I've tried that. That didn't work. Money, that was a fucking clusterfuck. So I've learned over time that all them numbers got to be high. Think about your life. There's people like, oh, I don't think money's not important.
Sorry.
How does that work? I was on, I'm telling on myself, but I was in the cab on the layover in Vegas, cab from my airport to the casino. Ethiopian dude. And he's telling me how amazing Ethiopia is. You know, like I could run around when I was 4 or 5 to different people's houses, spend the night, and nobody cared because it was so no crime. I was like, that's amazing. He's like, yeah, and every Friday, you know, we have tea at different people's homes. I'm like, that's amazing. He's like, and our women are so beautiful. I'm like, that's amazing. And and he's like, and it just, life was wonderful. So I didn't get caught up in the story because he's in Vegas with me driving the cab. So I'll say, I got a question for you. What the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, no money. No money. No money. My parents have 8 kids. We all had to spread out to go try to make money to send it back. So perfect little paradise life ain't shit if you can't fund it.
Turn me up. I still feel like I turn my mic up so I can get my rhymes off. Hey, listen. Something similar. I'm gonna show you how powerful what Court just said. This happens to me all the time. I had a dope brother. Let me be very clear. This brother's brilliant. So there's not a reflection or a judgment statement. He calls me, tells me about his business, tells me all these wonderful things he's doing. And he's like, yeah, we're doing this. I'm the first of this. And Obama gave me a call personally. He had me on his team. I was doing this. Business struggling right now, but then I did this. He just kept going on all these beautiful things he was doing. So when he finished talking, I said, so tell me about your discomfort with money. He said, what? I said, because this whole time you've been painting the picture and I ain't seen one number on your painting. And there's a discomfort with number to the point that he goes, yeah, because I feel like money can't be in front of the mission. I said, money is the mission. Money's like, I was like, you trying to build a house with a fucking hammer and a drill? I don't understand how you're gonna do this. Like it's you're literally working against yourself. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times when people call me about their business, let's say you say, no, I want to blow my business up. Show you how powerful this shit is. I want to blow my business up. And I said to you, oh, what you gonna do? I'm gonna be a barbershop, be a top barber, I'm gonna hire 5 other barbers. Do you see the glass ceiling? Because I do. I instantly see the glass ceiling. I see the labor of work. I see the limitations of your ideas. But when you're able to build a comfortable relationship with all those different layers, then even your dreams start to adjust and calibrate. So you start saying, I want to do this, your brain starts saying, well, how much can I make? What's my potential? Is it worth my time? But if you're in balance in all these areas, you get hijacked by feelings, emotions. This will make me happy. I feel more spiritual. You take off in all these different directions that got nothing. And if you don't have that complete balance, your strategy is out of balance. So what he's saying is purely business.
Hey, when I was in between businesses and I was rock bottom, so I was trying to find myself, right? Didn't have a pot to piss in or a window. So I got an EBT card in my wallet, but I'm in the spiritual game. So I go to all these spiritual circles, right? Meditation, and don't mind you, all the shit I learned, I love and I still practice to this day. But there's a pompous, entitled energy in those spaces sometimes because they're like, we devolve money, we don't do money, like, and so they wear all this garb and shit, and they have a version of entitlement that makes them think they're better than other people because money is not the important thing. But they don't realize they're behaving in the same manner. And I learned all kind of things, how to meditate, the spirituality, all kind of dope things. But at the end, at the end of it all, I was like, all right, this was amazing. I'm gonna go back to being an entrepreneur. I'm gonna take this with me though, but I'm gonna go back to being an entrepreneur. And because at the end of the day, y'all need somebody to fund you. Like that's how it goes. Somebody's donating to you. So it's not that you don't need it. You need it. That building gets paid for by somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it's just under the guise of spirituality sometimes. So our mission and our goals have to align with our purpose. And our purpose a lot of times comes from a higher source. You can call it what you want. But I know where my goal is and where I'm going. And you can't use the currency of other things to make you better than other people and blame them because they're focusing on money. It's definitely like you basically become them with a different currency. So look at all those pillars. But remember this. One number can change the scope of the game. You can bump up one number and it can change the landscape of the game. You don't have to be drastic. If you're a 5, if you're a 4, go up 1. What can I do? I wonder what I can do. I wonder what I can do. Like she said, dope. I wonder what it would look like if. I wonder what it would look like if. It shit changes. Anybody got them credit score apps where you can simulate if you paid off your bills 9 months in a row with your credit score be? I wonder what my credit score would be if I did this. Oh shit, it's 702. What if I paid off the 750? That's dope. Life changes at 750. Your interest rates get lower. You get more you get more balances on your credit. You get increases in your credit. All from a number. So tweak that. That's self-awareness. Where am I today? Where am I today? I know if I don't meditate for a week, God, it's a problem. I damn near should stay home. Because it affects a lot of things in how I move, how I treat my staff, how decisions I make. There's little things. If I don't work out, the tension that I feel and the anger that I like to get out in the gym, I can't release that. So all those affect that score. That's why I say they're connected. They're pillars, they stand alone, but they're connected. Because guess what? If your spirituality affects your mental and your physical working out affects your mental, that affects your money, that's why we teach the basics. That's why we don't teach. Let's pull up a P&L sheet and let's show how a P&L sheet works.
So in doing this, I was definitely focusing on like where I'm at today. And in recent times before a lot of family adversity, I would have probably rated myself higher because like stuff was just smooth, right? So like I was just like, oh, I'm not emotionally stressed out, so I'm doing better mental health wise. Like now, like death is on my mind a lot because we had a lot of really big things happen, which like brings my mental health down, and I'm like stressing. So I'm like, I feel great in my body. Like my fitness was probably the highest one because like I'm training 6 days a week, right? But that was prompted because, well, I mean, my industry, but then I like go overboard because of like that fear of like, well, this is one thing I can control. Like I work in a gym, I own a gym, I got gym memberships. Like this is one thing nobody's gonna fault me if I go in on this. And like that's a leverage area that I have a lot of control and influence in. But then in things like my mental health, like I can't help it that like people have aneurysms. I can't help it that like people get cancer. Like I can't help those things. And then it makes me feel so like having an anxiety attack right now just talking about it, like so much pressure because the realization of like not being in control of so much, and I don't know how to have a strong mental fortitude when that happens. Like I can be cool in my other areas, but I feel like if I'm being honest with myself, the thing that's challenging for me is like accepting that there's no control and like still being okay with that. And I don't really know how to do that because my survivor mind goes hard.
So, thank you. So you bring up something brilliant and dope. Where do you guys remember where her spirituality number is? 4. So accepting death, self-acceptance, all those things with a higher spiritual number allows you to push those things through that vehicle out because you have answers on how that works. Spirituality gives you the answers to those questions. Whatever your spiritual beliefs are, they all have the system in place to help you manage death, manage aneurysms, manage problems, all those things that blow up in your face, manage your mental health. Because too logical of a mind is destructive. And I know it sounds weird. There's something, I think you were telling me that.
I so agree.
There are places in this world where the smart people live, but they have no religion because they don't believe in it. It's bullshit. It has the highest suicide rates because they don't know how to process fuck shit. They don't know how to process bad things that happen. When we can pray, we could talk to God. We can say, God has a plan. Whatever your mantra is, we can say, hey, God's plan. Whether some people think it's bullshit, it still helps people process it out if you trust and believe and have a spiritual connection. So if you don't have that, then that's where it is tough, and it will be tough because you don't have a machine to process it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to find your machine, your spiritual machine, whatever that is. You gauge the effectiveness of that machine by how well you're able to process things that are way out of your control like that. Because you'll give it to a person who goes to church regularly and they like, okay, well, God had a plan for that. I'm sorry, what we need to do? Do we need to go cook for that family? But we know God called that person. And their belief system is so strong that it allows them to heal through that quicker.
Yo, that was fire.
Just to add to that, like my recent challenges with my family, September, my god brother said, oh, they doing a musical. I said, I'll be there. I need something because this is not working. Like what I am doing and the way I'm holding this, I can't. Like, and Not necessarily that I feel like I want to go back into church in that way, but what I definitely came face to face with, shit is too big for me. And I'm not like trying to sit up here and like bully through it or do all of the other things that I know to do. I was being very rational. And I was really leaning on that. And it runs out. So I needed a different kind of intelligence. And not even consciously like that's going to be the thing. It was what I knew to do. That's all I knew to do because I felt like everything else had kind of run out and I had cycled through everything else. Best decision. But just to kind of affirm that, like, I don't control a lot. And, you know, me and Nana have had so many conversations around me struggling with that I don't control a lot. It's probably been a theme as long as I've known him. And that has been very, very difficult to me. And what spirituality allowed me to do was these childhood dreams that I had held on to. I thought I had let it go, but I was holding on so deeply to some things, and it finally allowed me to allow them, I'm going to use the word, to surrender them, to die. Like I no longer need this thing. And I couldn't have done that outside of a spiritual thing. You glad? Yeah.
No, I think what you're saying is just, I love it. I totally, you know, when you're moving through this, even in the business world, and stop me if I'm anybody, but in business, you got to go meta, macro, micro, right? You got to think, and you're always going meta thinking. You're just way out here. And when you're way out here, you realize there's something bigger than you. It's almost like to not be able to see that means that you're probably too narrow.
Yeah.
You're probably too narrow.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you've been a 25-year-old and their brain finally kicks on, they realize they're adults, and now they want to throw out the baby in the bathwater because all these things are stupid, because they're looking at a very small slither of life. And then as you open up and you see a broader value of life, you realize, oh, this is way deeper than me. This is way bigger than anything I could think of. And that in itself, it's when then you read the old passages of spirituality, you realize, oh, this is something that wasn't meant for me to own through some rational thinking. And so and you learn to surrender to that. You learn to trust, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what's so crazy? Let me just say this real quick. Lesson. I'm at the gym, right? Everybody knows that when you're at the gym, you go to the gym for the first time, you come with this beautiful workout. I'm going to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Day 5, day 10, no results. You know, in order for you to get the results, if anybody ever got the results, it's a blind walk of faith.
Yeah.
That walk of faith has to be consistent. You don't get to go, I believe it today, I don't believe it tomorrow. You don't get to gauge it today, then walk away from it tomorrow. You realize that a large part of life is learning values and principles and then having a walk of faith to wait on the outcome that's too far away for the immediate. There's no signs of it. And you're, like when you're working out today, you had no signs of that six-pack. You had no signs that stomach's going to come down. You're thinking that maybe I might get liposuction because this stomach's like it's not going to go anywhere, right? But the reality is that it's a walk of faith. Then you realize that's what life is as a whole. So this whole idea of I want to know the outcome, I'm going to plan the future and tomorrow. If you just look at your simple life, you have so many signs that there is no such thing. There's no such thing. When you birth a child, there ain't no such thing as you know every move to make. This ain't no wax on, wax off, right? This is like, oh boy, right? And so there's this constant act of faith, but somehow when it comes to a bigger story, we want to think that it's really our ego that makes us sinner.
Yeah, so here's the deal. Here's a couple things to write down. First thing to write down. Ready? Self-acceptance. These are the children. These are the These are the tools you need for well-rounded self-awareness. First is self-acceptance. Once you are able to accept your scores for where they are, you don't need no stories around them. You don't need no story. It is what it is. This is when you get to say that. Shit, it is what it is. I'm a fucking 4 right now, and it is what it is. How I got here, how it happened, it happened. But it is what it is, and I accept it. You know why? Because I've been going after it. And life gonna be lifing sometimes, and life hits you in the back of the fucking head sometimes. And so you don't get to dictate, plan out perfectly all the shit you want. Sometimes you get bang, back of the head. Life was going good. I was chugging along, and something happened. So today, it's like that. Y'all see me coming here sometimes raggedy as fuck. I don't give a fuck. It's 3 today. And it's like that. Tomorrow might be better. Because it's self-acceptance. Because I know I'm giving it, I'm going after it. Did y'all see a hand? Go ahead.
I just had a quick question about the numbers. So is it safe to say that even if your numbers are a good 8, that Wednesday you might feel like a 3, but everything else might be up, but you might feel like a 3 as far as your mental or your spiritual wellness. But just because you feel like a 3 that day, does that mean like you have to go back and readjust and all your numbers fall, or just tomorrow might be an 8 again?
Tomorrow could be an 8 again, because they're separate pillars, but they're connected. So something may happen and you, bang, got hit. Now I'm down to a 3. What can I do? I wonder what I can do to bring this number up. What can I do? First thing you do is accept it. Right? It is what it is. Court, why you look so raggedy today? I don't know. Shit, it is what it is. Why your car dirty? Fuck, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm 4 today. Right? I accept it. Doesn't mean it's going to be a 4 tomorrow. I'm plotting and planning on how I can bring that number up. Second thing you write down, self-forgiveness. You must, M-U-S-T, you must forgive yourself for wherever you are. You must forgive yourself for wherever you are. I forgive myself. I forgive myself. Go ahead, Fern. I forgive myself. No guilt. You are where you are.
Hey, so literally going through this right now. And my question is, like, how I was looking at, like, giving yourself grace, giving yourself grace. And that's why I'm, like, fiending for feedback, because sometimes I feel I've given myself way too much grace. Like, come on, motherfucker, you doing way too much now. Like, but you can't see the blind spots. And so it's like I found myself all in this self-forgiveness. Oh, because, I'm on that spiritual shit. Like, oh, it's going to be cool, fine. So just bring it back, forgive yourself. But sometimes you need that kick in the ass, like blood. You want some bullshit. Like, I'll be real. Shakina, no. Shakina, I was real, I had like a 6-pack under like 2 layers. And then and then motherfucker got baby cheeks. And then so I was on this trajectory. I was doing cool, but then when you fall off, you continue to go through self-forgiveness. It's cool, fine, but sometimes, and this is what I've been struggling with, like, when is self-forgiveness excuses?
So, remember we said words are important, right? I never, if I'm fucking up, I don't tell myself it's cool. I forgive myself. I accept myself, but it ain't cool. Because saying it's cool is an emotion, right? It is what it is. Just is what it is, right? You are, in that moment, you are stoic. This is the way it is. You're stating the facts, right? I accept it and I forgive myself, meaning I've given myself grace for it. The spiritual side of me knows that world is full of grace, full of forgiveness, full of grace. It's every space in the air is all grace. So I can do the same for myself, but it ain't. But it ain't cool. I need a plan. Tomorrow, we gonna do better. 1%, 2%. What can I do? I wonder what can I do to get 1% better? Cause it ain't cool. I need my numbers up, right? I need to get up there in those pillars. So I forgive myself. We good. We cool. We good. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not punishing myself for what I didn't do or did do. None of that. Because we're forgiven. But I have a goal, and this is where I am, and what can I do to get there? A little bit. What can I do to move up 1%, 2%, whatever percentage up towards that goal tomorrow? Because I ain't got time to waste. Tomorrow. Or if you want to fuck around, then fuck around. But know you fucking around. Don't mask it. Don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Know I'm fucking around. What am I losing right now? Potential, all kind of shit. All right? So we going to kill it here. We got more to go next week. No, two things. Self-acceptance and self-forgiveness. You got to use those in correlation with the self-awareness.
We don't pay attention to their needs. We kind of teach from a space of what our community should learn or what they should know or what's good for them. And so I decided to pivot these next few classes and bring back the Wolf series. But I'm going to do it in a whole different way. In this version of the Wolf series, my goal is to reinforce some of the stuff that Court has taught that I see a lot of you guys are still suffering from. And I think you guys missed it. So I'm going to kind of come from different angles. It's going to be a lot of the same stuff, but it's going to be very different angles. I'm going to go dive deeper into symptoms. I'm going to dive deeper into solutions. But before I get started, I don't know if y'all been paying attention to the war. That shit's real. And this is not about, we have one of our cats here is Jewish, Josh. Shout out to Josh. Hopefully his family's okay. But I just want y'all just to sit back for a second to put your life in perspective. Imagine you at the house cooking tonight and somebody drops 2,000 missiles. They shoot 2,000 missiles at the Bay Area. I just want y'all to wrap your mind around that. I want you to realize how many things you guys are tripping on. How much would that really matter? Like, there was a place where there was 260 people having a peace rally. No more than 260. A crowd of people having a peace rally. And Hamas showed up and shot 260 people dead, no warning. Then Israel decided they was going to flatten Gaza Strip. And if you saw it on television, it was like you just see nothing but rubble as far as eyes can see. Imagine your child, your friends, your families that fast. And I want y'all to think about some of these arguments we have on social media, the things we're tripping about right now, how our office wasn't ready yet, how the vendor that you called didn't call you back yet, all the shit you tripping on, and you forget how blessed you are. Remember in this class we used to teach being grateful? A lot of the shit I keep saying in this country, we've gotten so soft because we gotten used to being in a world where there's no war. We're having the wrong conversations. And if you look at our, the brothers and sisters in Israel, and like I said, I don't know the politics of the leadership, but yes, we know about the word, what's the word, Schenectady, which is a small group of people can make a decision for the whole. And here's two small groups of just people who have put thousands, I think it was in 3 days, 2,000 people were killed, including babies and children, babies and women. So I just want you guys, like, as you move through life, first of all, give thoughts and prayers towards Josh and other Jewish community people, and all the Islamic people that you know. These are people called the middle, because I'm not trying to call that spot out. But I just want you to also understand that's part of the same life. The same life of you having Louis Vuitton, that's part of that same life. And sometimes we can start to think that the Louis Vuitton is the only portion of life we should be focusing on, when realistically, shit can pop off like that in your own neighborhood overnight. When your cousins can flash on, you can have a party and somebody can start beefing and start shooting that fast, and you can have your own moment of absolute disruption. So treasure these moments you have, value these moments you have. I see these parents sometimes at the parks and they're on the phone, the kids just playing in isolation. I'm thinking, yo, this kid ain't gonna be here for long, right? You gonna put that fucking phone in your pocket? Like, how'd you get that goddamn busy? And really, you're not that busy, you fucking fronting. You playing a role. You bought this idea looking busy is the new cool. And you have a child, right? My daughter, she's 5, going on 17. And, I look at pictures of her when she's 2 and 3, and I'm like, damn, where'd those years go? It was that fucking fast. Hey, this chair right here, come on, give me another chair. This chair is shrinking like just like switch chairs with me. They got me feeling like I'm about to be in the midget crew. Look at me, look at this. It's at my eyes, bro. This chair is just losing air. It's like I've been trying to hold it with my legs, my muscles are getting sore. Like, let me just switch up with you real quick, hold on. God damn, boy.
You want to try to raise this one now?
It's just the air, yeah, but it goes,
it's still on.
pass that one. I'll work with that chair. I'm just not gonna keep doing this. This is against everything I believe in. Okay, thank you, Jasadi. Jasadi got a haircut, so there's no capital. He looks really good today right now, so there's no capital on Jasadi right now. He look kind of fly. You know what I'm saying? I can't front. When a black man gets his hair cut, the whole conversation changes. All right, let's roll, because we got a lot to cover. Hey, I'm going to disrupt a lot today. We're going to have some emotional dialogues. I'm staying in the same lane. Once again, this is the wolf conversation. I'm going to take you somewhere. It may take this series may take 5 or 6 classes, but I'm going to take you down a wolf path, because there's a foundational challenge that we're having. And Court is giving these excellent classes, especially he brought the spiritual thing in a way that even I love. You know me, I'm not the woo-woo type. That was fire, because that's the way I see it. Actually, that's my way of seeing spirituality. I just don't talk about it because I don't want to have those conversations. But the way he delivered spirituality today and tied it to a bigger picture was amazing. The principles and things he talked about, the moment of self-awareness, I'm going to go down some of these same paths, but I'm about to, like I said, I want you guys to see the value of the lesson you guys are receiving and realize that most of the business problems I have listened to in the last 6 months are going to be covered in these next 6 classes, and all the classes Court has been covered and is going to cover. Your solutions are in these classes. All right? So y'all ready to get down? Y'all ready to get down? Shabisha, you're going to do a lot of reading today. This is some stuff I was going to teach next year, but I went ahead and just flipped things around because I'm getting too much feedback. Anyway, go for it. Let's go. So it's wolf time. We'll start off with this first principle, self-accountability. But let's get into it. Next slide. Shabisha.
People who lack self-accountability tend to run on autopilot.
Freeze. How many people you don't move on autopilot? It's probably it's pop culture, right? Autopilot is a thing. So it says people who lack self-accountability tend to run on autopilot. Have you ever tried to see somebody who want to come off of autopilot and they struggle? Have you noticed that that same person always does this? They did this to me. I want y'all to see the connection. Because it's going. I'm gonna make this connection a little clear for you. Keep going.
This is the exact opposite of commanding your own life.
So let me be very clear for you guys who I'm my own man, my own woman. I like to be. I'm an adult. I'm a grown ass person. If you're not self-accountable, scrap that thought. You're still a kid. Scrap it. Let's not play this shit no more. All right, this is wolf time. So if I got some sensitive people, just turn the just close your computer. Don't go home talk about, you hurt my feelings. Just turn your computer off. If you're sensitive, just go ahead and grab some pizza, get the fuck up out of here. Keep going.
These people constantly succumb to external pressure, seeking rewards, avoiding punishments, and measuring themselves against other people's scoreboards.
Okay, read that again, Shabisha, because maybe that was too deep for some of you. Some of y'all, Shabisha has such a, she speaks with such classiness and a higher level that some of y'all just listen to gangster hip hop, so that may not register. So read that shit one more time.
These people constantly succumb to external pressure.
So these people constantly succumb. So remember, mind you, let's see that. I want you guys to see this from 360 degrees. You're not self-accountable. Because you're not self-accountable, you succumb to what?
External pressure.
Ooh. And what else do you do because you're not self-accountable?
Seeking rewards.
So that means that you're always looking for somebody to praise them. Oh my God, you're fabulous. Oh my God, you know what? I believe in you. You know what? You're smart. Oh my God, you're strong. Oh my God, you're wonderful. Look how nice you dress. Oh my God, look at your hair. Oh my God, those new neat fingernails and lashes and all the white womb. Keep going.
Avoiding punishments.
Avoiding punishment. Why me? Why I gotta take the prize? I gotta pay child support. Why I gotta take care of? Why is that my responsibility? Keep going.
And measuring themselves against other people's scoreboards.
Comparisons will destroy you. But keep going. We're gonna roll.
They're followers, not leaders.
So you're saying to me, if you're not self-accountable, you're a follower, not a leader? Because this entrepreneur, once you're an entrepreneur, you know you're a leader. If some of you guys want executive roles, you know you're a leader. So this class here, I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the followers outside who's in the classroom down the street doing finger painting. You understand that, right? Let's keep it rolling.
They don't take responsibility for their mistakes. Instead, they always try to blame other people, circumstances, or bad luck.
Or bad luck. So even when they have no one to blame, guess what they blame? Man, that's just bad luck, man. This shit went bad. It happens to everybody. Go ahead.
Nothing's ever their fault.
So have you ever seen people who, and this is how you can see this. Because some of you guys are going to the extreme in your head. You're thinking about somebody going, oh, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault. No, they'll say something like, yo, you just happened to be today, and I told Weston to put the shit away, And I asked this person for all this. My daughter's messing up in school, my son's messing up in school, and guess what? They need to get this shit together. At the end of the day, my car breaking down and shit, you know how Chevy, them raggedy ass Chevys. You see what I'm doing with that? They make it's so built into the conversation, you won't even see them pushing fault to somebody else. As black men, I will be successful, but them white people, they think about me when they wake up and they be working together to keep me down. Black schools are fucked up. Man, somebody need to do something. You see where self-accountability is kicking in? And when you're not accountable, what happens? It says, you're not in command of your own life. Black people, how many times have you sat in rooms where we complain about what other people are doing to us, and then we talk about we want to control our own life? Do you realize how the person who controls their own life is looking at you? They think you funny. It's like a joke. That's like an alcoholic talking about he gonna be a super athlete. Dude, you still drunk. That's how you sound when you're talking to people who are accountable about accountable responsibilities and you're not accountable. Then you wonder why it's like somebody should respect me. They respect these things here. Accountability. Next slide.
Well, I have news for you. It's all your fault.
Okay, did you say some of it's your fault, most of it's your fault, or all your fault?
All your fault.
So everything that happens to you is saying all of it's your fault? This is gonna be a hard pill to swallow, but if you swallow this pill, pause for those of y'all clowning, because y'all know y'all don't never mess with Corey. I know Corey's a little more gangster than I am, you know what I'm saying? Y'all done took my nice side and just go crazy, but let me just say this real quick. You gotta stomach this, pause, way further.
Hey. Hey.
That was the best pause for me. It was just, but stay with me, because you say pause, you can't say nothing. It's set, it's done. You can't be trying to follow up. Pause. So it's all your fault. I know this is hard to accept, but as a leader, you got to hear this differently than somebody sitting in this class who's not a leader. I'm going to make a connection to this in 1 second. It's all your fault. Go ahead.
There is always something you can do in the moment today to better your position tomorrow.
So it's all. So key with this. There's always something today you can better your position. So something happens to you, right? If you stay in that space, tomorrow is just a spillover of the day before. If you accept it's your fault, you're actually empowering your brain to be on a solution team. If you don't accept it's your fault, your brain's gonna spend all that time flashing, spilled milk. You see where I'm going with this? You gotta call everything your fault to be cold-blooded in this game. This is wolf talk. This ain't for all the dogs outside. I don't give a fuck about them. I'm talking to the wolves right now. It's all your fault, not some of it. That's why we take no petty arguments. It's all your fault. Because when you get into petty arguments, you know what you're doing? You're dulling a blade. You can't cut. You can't move like I can move. It's all your fucking fault. Keep rolling.
You might not be able to solve the problem, but your next action will make the situation better or worse. Mm-hmm. There is always an action you can control, however tiny, that helps you achieve progress.
So the key thing is that, success is being better than you were the day before. That's all success really is. Success is being better than you were the day before. You can't do that if you keep lingering on every motherfucking loss of why it happened to you. Even if it's just a small thing. So even if I take a hard hit, I always say to myself, you might ever call me and had a family member die or a friend die, and I say, hey, it's a blessing for you. Yeah. That's a tiny win. I'm looking for everything. Out of everything that happens to me, where can I go next? Not how do I accept the blow I'm taking. Pause. Next one. Hey, whatever, man. Y'all clowning. Go ahead. I got to survive up here. Just how you know what I'm saying? Now you my brother, because now you got a normal haircut. I can talk to you like one of the brothers on the streets. I got to survive, bro. Go ahead. So watch this. Roll. Let's go.
Complaining is not a strategy.
What? You say, wait a minute. What is not a strategy?
Complaining.
You mean when you sit around all damn day and complain about what's going on in this world, when you join groups who complain about what's wrong with this world, when you could join these women groups, these men groups, and LGBTQ plus groups, you trying to tell me that's just not a strategy? This is wolf talk. Keep going.
You have to work with the world as you find it, not as you would have it be.
That in itself should hit you in the stomach. Most of y'all are fucked up because you waste too much time wondering why wouldn't the world be some other kind of way? It's wasted dialogue. It's wasted thinking. Remember, time, attention, money? You are literally wasting attention by focusing on what the world should be as opposed to this is what it is. He just said it a second ago. I'm just reinforcing this point. Once you accept it is what it is, your brain can go to work with and start producing dope-ass solutions. When you sit around going, it should have been, let's say you doing the wine event, and everything goes wrong. It is what it is. Now how are we gonna move forward? Sitting there going, well, they should have did this, they should have, that didn't make you better. Now you can sit there and go, okay, how do we prevent this moving forward? But it happened. Once you sit there, I want you guys to see the mind trap. Once you focus on what you don't control, it's a mind trap. You're wasting thoughts that you have that are valuable to move you forward because it's the only way you can go. My daughter the other day dropped her candy when we went jogging because every Sunday morning we all get up, the whole family, we all go and run. Let's go. My daughter is up to 3/4 of a mile, 5 years of age. Love her. And I bought her some new running shoes. Oh, you can't tell her nothing now. Oh, now she wants a Spider-Man outfit. That's how kids are. Imagination's cold-blooded like that. So she drops her candy after her run, and she goes to cry, and I say, hey, it's over with. What's the plan moving forward? What you want to do now? Do you want to go get some more candy? Or do you want to have a plan? Or what's the situation? Because I ain't going to entertain that conversation. Let's go. That's conversations y'all still need today. Because y'all spend too much time talking about shit. It's gone. What the fuck you talking about? Keep going. That's Jeff Bezos, by the way. Go ahead.
There's no greater source of renewable energy in the world than when you're defending your own self-image.
Wait a minute, read that again, because sometimes, like I said, you got that French accent. Like, you know, that woo-wah, whatever they say in Paris. But wait, go ahead, say that shit.
There's no greater source of renewable energy in the world than when you're defending your own self-image.
I want you to understand how much valuable energy you're losing. Keep going.
While my colleague didn't threaten me physically.
Okay, so stop here. So this story comes on the back end. There's a story that comes before this. So there's this guy, he's working for this other guy. He's an employee. This employee works 6 days a week. He works 10 hours plus a day. And his supervisor came to him and said, hey, you're going to have that report ready on tomorrow. And he said, oh, it's going to be late because this morning the bus got stuck for 2 hours. And supervisor says, I don't give a fuck. It's your responsibility. Get it done. He said, wait a minute, but I work all these extra hours. I've been working here. I done gave him my relationship. I spend more time with you. I spend my own girlfriend. And dude says, I don't give a shit. You signed up for this job. You know what you had to do. It's your responsibility. If you can't, I'm going to fire you. Pick up from there.
While my colleague didn't threaten me physically, he threatened how I saw myself as working hard and getting things done. And when someone threatens how you see yourself, you stop thinking and start reacting.
Next slide.
I began writing up a list of all the things I'd done that week.
So mind you, so now this person went from the supervisor told him this, now they're on defense. Keep going.
How many hours I'd worked, how many projects I'd worked on, how many people in operations I'd helped. As I rehearsed these points, I got angrier and angrier. The inertia of my negative emotions turned into a powerful doom loop. I wasn't conscious of the path I was on. I was reacting, not reasoning.
Oh, wait a minute. He said, so mind you, he sat there, got defensive, and he's in pure reactionary mode. He's reacting, but he's not reasoning. You know where I'm going with this? Keep going.
My power to make excuses felt limitless.
So he started coming with excuses on top of excuses of why he couldn't. It became limitless to him. I can make 1,000 excuses because now at this point I'm so mad, and he don't see, and he don't get. Keep going.
Who is this guy to tell me it's my fault? He doesn't see what I see. I emailed him the list. It filled over a page. His response arrived a few moments later. I don't care.
He go, I don't. So after he wrote all those excuses, he go, excuse me, I still don't give a fuck. Keep going.
It's your responsibility to our team and our mission to get your shit done. If you can't own that, learn from it and figure it out for next time. I don't want to work with you.
His supervisor, I don't even want to work with you. Let me help you guys understand this from leaders. So I'm saying, because some of y'all might have put on your everyday, your ordinary glasses. Let me put your leadership glasses back on. When's the last time you went to a store that you go there often or you frequent all the time, that you asked for something and they told you they didn't have it because somebody got sick or somebody wasn't feeling good today, how often do you go back to that store? The customers don't give a fuck, right? So imagine if you allow excuses to start to germinate, including you, inside your organization. How can you be consistent? It's not possible. Let's go back to the workout. How in the fuck do you lose weight with an inconsistent workout? Is it possible, Shakita? But I'm sure every week there's a new excuse waiting on why you didn't work out. Oh, this, oh, that, oh, shit. Well, I had to. Hey, man, listen, when I was a director of Nature Conservancy and I would travel around the nation, hey, put me in hotels with gyms. I'm keep my workout going. There ain't no excuses. I'm in 10 below inside the hotel getting it. Because why? There's no excuses. Sign me up for membership for gyms so when I go to these different cities, I can hit their gyms. So I can get there and get my workout, right? There is no excuses. So when he says, I don't give a shit about what you're saying, your body tells you that same message all the fucking time. I don't give a shit all the shit you about to tell me. Well, last week my wrist hurt. I don't give a shit. You know, I got bad knees. I don't give a shit. You know, I used to have asthma. I don't give a shit. You know what? I got my ankles are bad. I got that grout or some shit. I don't give a shit. Gout, grout, whatever that shit is. Whatever
He said he got the
I don't give a shit. Whatever. Some of that shit y'all be, some of the shit I have to hear all the time. I don't give a shit. My arch is falling. Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit. You know, I used to be fast in high school. Please don't go down this path. But you know, I'm older now. I don't give a shit. I'm 60. I don't give a shit. I'm 70. I don't give a shit. I want you to hear this. Your body's been teaching this lesson this whole fucking time, but somehow you want to do this shit in business. Keep it rolling.
All the energy we put into defending ourselves comes at the expense of the very thing that would make the situation better.
Wait a minute, what'd you say? Read it, because you know what? Because you know you from East Oakland, you got that East Oakland accent a little bit. So read it a little bit better with your West Oakland accent. Don't mix them up again. Say it again.
All the energy we put into defending ourselves comes at the expense of the very thing that would make the situation better.
You could make your life 1,000 times better if you stop with that fucking defense talk and defense thinking. Keep rolling.
Moving on and doing what needs to be done. It's a choice we don't realize we're making. Had someone tapped me on the shoulder and said, you're about to spend 3 hours of energy on this, are you sure you want to do that? I would have said no.
You will spend time and energy instead of using that same brain to solve. So I want you to see how this personal rhythm doesn't translate, because you see this happen in personal life. I get mad, I'm gonna need a couple hours to myself, I'm just got me fucked up, I'm re-tripping. Well, you're not, instead of saying, what is my play? What are my options? Move on that shit. I got me fucked up. They don't, I'm gonna call court. You know what this motherfucker said about me? Oh, and I gotta defend this. Okay. But what are you not working on? So when I get hit in business all the time, it just happened. That just happened? Tennille comes over and hits me with got a business problem. Okay, do this. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm not gonna carry no weight on that. So then she comes back to me and she goes, hey, yo, that's actually the play because they made another movie behind the scenes and they didn't tell us. Oh, okay, so they gotta pay for that. Okay, cool. Right? I could sit there and be like, that's unfair. And I'll be sitting back there and then of course it's your turn, I'll be like, oh shit, I wasn't even ready. I mean, I cleared my mind so motherfucking fast, it was ridiculous. Because I'm used to moving on, move. Because when you're responsible for other people's lives, your lives ain't got time for me to be tripping. Your life don't have time for me to be tripping. If I'm tripping, do you realize how many hope classes you would have not had if I was tripping? I walk to this motherfucker and be like, yo, they got me fucked up. Let me tell you what happened to me and how that shit was. You got to watch out for these kind of people because they be doing you wrong. And the IRS don't give a fuck about black people. I just want to say that real quick. But anyway, how y'all doing? You know what? Let me tell you another thing. That's what the class would have sounded like. You know, where I grew up, it was just all fucked up for me. And, as a black man, Martin Luther King always say it. Move the fuck on, bro. Do me a favor, write them down because I'm going to flow a little bit. So write down your questions. Please write them down because I want to just jump back into it. Next slide.
While that email was neither nice nor fair, it was kind and it changed my life.
Okay, so real quick, I want you to pay attention to these words. This is very important. While the email was neither nice nor fair, that's 2 key words. It was kind and it changed my life. So when he told him I didn't give a fuck, get the job done, and I don't want to work with you anymore, that was a kind email. Stomach that for a minute. Nice and kind can be 2 different things. Did y'all know that? Y'all made it. Y'all turned kind to nice. Read.
Sure, my colleague could have been gentler, but that didn't mean he was wrong. Too often, the people we ask for feedback are kind but not nice.
So let me be very clear. When somebody gives you feedback, they're kind. A lot of times they're not nice. Keep going.
Kind people will tell you things a nice person will not.
Uh-oh. When we say kind person will do what?
Tell you things a nice person will not.
Oh, so first of all, we'll be very clear. Most of you motherfuckers, most of your friends are just too fucking nice. Your circles are nice. You motherfuckers went out and built nice-ass circles. They so nice. The whole circle is weak because it's too damn nice. Keep rolling.
Kind people will tell you things a nice person will not. A kind person will tell you that you have spinach on your teeth. A nice person won't because it's uncomfortable. A kind person will...
Stop. Y'all been that y'all been in that space before where there's a booger to somebody's nose or something on their teeth and you don't want to say nothing because it's uncomfortable for you? That person's kind. A nice person be like, yo, man, you got a booger in your nose. Do something about that shit. Like, you know, do something like that. Do something like that. So your real ass part... Come on, man. Come on. Still there, bro. Here, take this tissue, man. Go to get the mirror. Your white friend might be like, hey, the violation. Don't reach for it. But keep going.
A kind person will tell us what holds us back, even when it's uncomfortable.
So a kind person will tell you what's holding you back, even when it's uncomfortable. Let me say this again. A kind person will come to you even when it's uncomfortable for them to come to you. Keep going.
A nice person avoids giving us critical feedback because they're worried about hurting our feelings.
Kaja, how many nice people you got in your life? You made them. You know that, right? Shakina, you made them, right? I want you guys to understand, you guys make the nice people because you guys go out and find them. You don't want, kind people have made you too mad, so you're like, ugh. And then you even give them, okay, I gotta go talk to this kind person. Shit. Be nice. No, I'm kind, I ain't nice. What the fuck wrong with y'all? Keep rolling.
No wonder we end up thinking other people will be interested in our excuses.
You have too many nice people, then now your excuses get time and attention. When you have too many nice people in your life, your excuses get too much time and attention. Keep it rolling.
No one cares about your excuses as much as you do.
No one. Keep going.
In fact, no one cares about your excuses at all, except you.
Have you ever sat in a room with somebody giving you excuses and you listen to them, but you really think about other shit you want to do? Can we be 100 honest? That's how you listen in a room and somebody's giving you excuses, right? You hear, even if you listen to excuses, you only listen to excuses to reference your life. Like no one gives a fuck. In business, no one cares ever. 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 Let me say this again. Never do they care. Because okay, for example, if I was to pay you, let's say, Scott, I hired you and you charged me $3,000. And when it came time to pay you, I gave you $2,500. How would you feel? That's how they feel about your fucking excuses. It's some bullshit. The exact same fucking way. But yet, when the moment you think your excuses are gold, like it shouldn't be touched, it's got this little, this third rail around it. You can't touch it. Bullshit. If I'm going to pay you your money, I want my 100% of my money. If you want to give me a tip, cool. And I want 100% no fucking excuses. That's an even exchange. Your excuses is a deficit. You're taking money out of my fucking pocket with your fucking excuses. Keep it rolling.
When people's actions have outcomes that don't line up with how they see themselves, they tend to insulate their egos by blaming other people or unfavorable circumstances.
Okay, did y'all hear that? It says when people have outcomes that don't line up with how they see themselves. So this is how I see myself, but my outcome doesn't align with that. I'm popping, but my life ain't popping. I'm rich, but my life ain't rich. I'm fine as hell, but I look average. You understand me? So now, they have a tendency to insulate themselves, find a group of people that call me fine, tell me I'm popping, I'm amazing, I'm great. And then turn around and blame other people and for unfavorable circumstances. I want you to see how this is engineered by you, unconscious though, not consciously. When these things are not working, the first thing you're going to do is redesign your circle to give you the sense of value you thought you had. Then focus on anybody that goes against that value. It's them. They tripping. They don't see me. They don't see the greatness. Like, Shabisha, Court, y'all see me as being amazing. Kaja don't see what y'all see. Something wrong with motherfucking Kaja because she hating on us. She on some other shit. I'm not into that shit. See what's happening there? Stay with me now. Keep going.
Psychologists even have a term for this tendency. They call it self-serving bias,
Oh, self-serving bias. Let's roll.
a habit of evaluating things in ways that protect or enhance our self-image.
So we will make moves to protect the image, not what we're really doing, not our bank account. Remember I used to say, if you really want to know who the fuck you are, look at your bank account? Self-image is never, most self-images don't line up with your bank account. Because if that was the case, some days y'all should be coming in here looking fly, and some days y'all should be coming in here looking homeless. But instead, your image is, I'm here, I'm a boss. I'm fabulous, because social media set your ass up. I was fortunate to be raised in a time where if you wasn't performing, you just didn't have those kind of friends. Now you're in a world right now where everybody just make-believe teams. You go online and say, I'm fabulous, and everybody, oh, there you go, niecey, be fabulous. There go my niece. Oh, my God. We always knew you was family. Family love you. That drunk-ass auntie who ain't never had your back, she could play that role on social media. Everybody play perfect family members on social media. Oh, my God, you're so beautiful. I knew you were beautiful. You don't mean the same one that stole from me? Am I lying? Right? Social media is a fake world that got y'all believing this is who I am. So when that shit don't line up in the real world, guess what you do? You spend most of your motherfucking time creating a false reality. You start buying clothes. You motherfuckers go out and get BMWs and Mercedes and shit with a motherfucking EBT bank account. Keep it 100. Some of y'all wearing gold chains and shit. Gold chains? You don't have one stock. Go ahead.
He's a producer. He produces for like SZA and all this stuff. This weekend we were hanging out, and he was telling me, he's like, I really want to get a car. What do you want? I want to get a Range Rover. I was like, bro, you could get the Kia Velis or whatever it is. It's $50,000. A Range Rover is $150,000. It's the same fucking car with better amenities, bro. He's like, I was like, I really like it. I was like, you doing this for status? He was like, yeah. And I was like, well, at least you know.
And guess what happens with friends like you? You get bumped off the team after a while. You talking that truth shit. I need that fabulous friend be like, what? Range Rover? Oh, shit. You know you about to be fly. Say you about to have them all on you, boy. Right? And then you'll see it happen. They stop calling you all of a sudden. Tania, I'm sorry, I forgot it was your birthday. Because you just wasn't calling me fabulous enough. What the fuck wrong with you? You know the rules to be around me. This is a new thing now. Think about the opposite is true. If I tell you you're not fabulous, you want to kill yourself. This is the make-believe. But y'all in business, you can't do this shit, y'all. Keep rolling.
Statements like, it was a great idea, just poorly executed. We did the best we could, and we never should have been in this situation in the first place are often manifestations of this bias.
So read it again, because I want you to hear how these are subtleties of how that bias exists. So this they call it the self-serving bias, a habit of valuing things in a way that protect or enhance our self-images. And we say things like what?
It was a great idea, just poorly executed.
So I mean that we did really good. I did the best I could, Nana. You know, I did everything good. It was just some things didn't work out right. Go ahead.
We did the best we could, and we never should have been in this situation in the first place.
Man, you know what? If a black man in this community, and you know, plus the competition and all these other things, that's why we failed. Keep going.
Are often manifestations of this bias.
Next slide.
Here's the thing. It might be true.
So it might be true. All those things might be true. It might have been a bad call, bad timing, bad place, bad everything. But keep rolling. Next.
Maybe it really wasn't a bad idea, just bad execution.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you really did do the best you could.
Maybe you did the best you could. Maybe you really did go in there and give the best effort you could. Maybe.
Maybe you never should have been in that situation in the first place.
Damn. Maybe you just shouldn't even been there. Maybe you shouldn't even took the contract from the beginning. But go ahead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't matter.
Wolf time. Wolf time, baby. This is wolf time. Unfortunately, it don't even fucking. Yes, I understand. It still don't matter. Keep going.
No one cares.
No. This is the harshness of being an entrepreneur. Because y'all see, you notice how when y'all hang around normal, like the ordinary people, everybody cares. And then you start caring. Not realizing, no, you're this wolf gang. You don't get to care. This is why a lot of times when people are having conversations at on holidays, you go quiet and slide to the back of the room. You're like, yeah, I don't give a shit. And you know you don't want to do that in front of them because it's going to seem heartless. Nana, what do you think? This is stupid. I don't give a fuck about your life like that. It doesn't work. In my mind, I'm thinking that. I'm thinking, if that's how you think your life is, then that's what your life is. I don't give a fuck. You know how often I say that? I just don't say it out loud because it's heartless. So guess what I do as an entrepreneur? I slide back, or I go, oh, damn, what you gonna do? Damn, okay. All right, well, I gotta go. So if you ever did that to you know, I just, in my head, I was saying, I don't give a fuck. Keep going.
None of it changes the outcome.
There you go. That's why I don't give a fuck. Keep going.
Or solves the problems that still remain.
So the problem still remains, and we're not working on a solution to solve the problem, move your life forward. You want to bake at the beginning, at the starting line. You want to sit there and cry and wallow in your own mess. I don't give a fuck because I'm not helping you. I'm helping drown you. I don't care to drown you. So I don't give a fuck. Y'all think I'm saying I don't care about you. You don't realize I'm saying I don't care to participate in your destruction. If you're a loved one, I don't want to be part of this conversation. All those who are trying to be nice to you are participating in your drowning. I'm saying to you, no, I am not going to support this drowning effort when I know you have abilities to actually climb up and swim. You see the difference? Didn't you see how I already said I didn't give a fuck? You're like, damn, dude, it's kind of rough. When you read the finish that sentence, what I'm really saying to you is that I'm not going to participate in your destruction because I know this is never going to work. That's not how life works. You don't get a car to go back and change the past. It's done. Keep going.
Next slide. Just because something happened that was outside of your control.
So Shakina, hear this part here. This is for you. This is what you talked about earlier. Say it again. Read it one more time.
Just because something happened that was outside of your control.
So the word control is an African word for control. Go ahead. Just want to make sure. Some of y'all trying to get too deep right now.
Doesn't mean it's not your responsibility to deal with it the best you can.
Ooh. In everything in your life, you still have control, even though you never lose complete control, Shakina. Court gave you a tool to help you help yourself, because that's the only person who can help you is yourself in these cases. But your brain should do that all the time, which is, I'm feeling I'm out of control. Shabisha, I'm feeling like I'm out of control. What control do I have? Seek that. Don't buy the story you're completely out of control, right? Because it's something you always have some value there, something you can do. And the control is not going to get high. It's not going to eat a chocolate cake, Shakina, right? But it's a situation where I'm not saying you would. Just you kind of like the kind of sister might do that. But just saying, you just it's a good cake, you might be gone. But what is this? The situation is this: is that I want you guys to see this message and this point here that's very, very clear. Stop buying into the idea that I don't have control, brother. If you don't come get you some pizza, family, you family. You family. Come on, fam. Come on. You. Okay, thank you. Okay, you family. Okay, we got family here. They be acting like they cousins, distant cousins. They family. Come on. Anyway, so the thing is that's the most important thing. Doesn't mean it's your responsibility to deal with it. Deal with it the best you can. So what I'm saying is that all that happened to you, there's always something you can do, and that's the beginning of turning things around. The more you buy into you've been conquered, then you are. You perceive it, you are. Ain't nothing I can do for you. But if you get slapped, if somebody knocks you down financially or any other kind of way, your brain should go into like, what moves do I have? This is how masters turn a hit into using the momentum for a counter hit. And you're like, damn, this dude, I can't take this person down, because their brain never surrenders to the idea, I'm a victim. Next slide.
Our desire to protect ourselves prevents us from moving forward.
Say it one more time, because I want y'all, because some of y'all, this is why I'm getting tired of this self-pampering, self-love, we've over-leveraged the fuck out of this, right? We've over-leveraged the men need and women need and LGBTQ plus need and trans need and all these needs we have. Go ahead.
Our desire to protect ourselves prevents us from moving forward.
This is the problem with the black movement, the women's movement, the Latino movement, the LGBTQ plus movement, is our desire to protect ourselves prevents us from moving forward. Keep going.
It's tempting to absolve yourself, throwing your hands up and claiming you have no control over the situation you've landed in.
Did you hear that, Shakina? Let's read that one more time.
It's tempting to absolve yourself, throwing your hands up and claiming you have no control over the situation you've landed in.
Next slide. Let's keep rolling.
Complaining does nothing.
So let me say this again. What? It does what?
Nothing.
Does something?
Nothing.
Okay, because you kind of have an Asian accent today. Can you say it one more time with like a little bit more, like slow it down a little bit? What?
No thing.
Okay, there you go. Nothing. There you go. Go ahead.
To change the present situation you find yourself in, though.
Keep going.
Thinking about how it wasn't your fault doesn't make anything better. The consequences are still yours to deal with.
So even if it's not your fault and you don't have control, it's still your consequence to deal with. Don't ever forget that. No matter how dirty the storm is, it's still your consequence to deal with. Let's say you're in a relationship and you say, man, he ain't shit. He did this and he did this and he did. He's still your consequence to deal with. If you don't work on your solution on how to move the shit forward, you'll stay in that victimized space with that person. Keep rolling.
If you play poker. Sorry. I skipped.
Okay.
Always focused on the next move.
So listen to this real quick. This is the solution right here. Always. Not sometimes, not most times. When shit happens to you next. Okay, let me show you how this is such a natural statement. Let's say right now I drop my phone and it breaks. What thought do I have that will make that reverse itself? There is none. Okay, but I'm saying, but some of us would be stuck right there. Why was this table designed like that? Was the room shaking? What the fuck happened here? How come that case did not work? None of that solves the problems that you got to make a phone call tomorrow with that cracked up ass phone that's about to cut you side of your face. Right? Your brain should instantly go with like, okay, tomorrow morning I gotta get up, go get this phone replaced, take care of this, move some things around, and keep it moving. Think about all the shit you may not do. Think about the business call you had scheduled for tomorrow you didn't make because you're still tripping on your phone and you missed a call. Think about that new customer is about to call you because you tripping on that motherfucking phone, you missed a call. Think about how there's a spillover from the phone breaking to now how you are treating everybody around you, and then your kids get in your car, and now you become this Gestapo of sit your ass down, don't move because I lost enough for the day. You see how you stuck in the past? That ain't got nothing to do with moving forward. So always focus on the next move. Keep going.
The one that gets you closer or further from where you want to go.
Say again.
The one that gets you closer or further from where you want to go.
Meaning that's the strategy, because sometimes you want to get closer to where you want to go, or you want to get further away from some place where you want to go, because that's how strategy works. This is how your brain works. Yet we participate in an activity that's almost like a ritual that doesn't, it satisfies our ego and our emotions, but it has nothing to do with what we need to do and where we need to go. Keep going.
If you play poker.
Now, listen to this. This is so important, and stomach this. Pause. Go ahead.
If you play poker, you learn this intuitively. You're dealt a hand based mostly on luck.
So when you play poker, the hand that you get is on luck. You don't get to choose your hand, not the best hand, not the white hand, not the Asian hand, not the ancient hand, not the spiritual hand. The hand is luck. Go ahead.
Feeling sorry for yourself, complaining about the hand you were dealt, or blaming others for how they played their hands only distracts you from what you can control. Your responsibility is to play the hand as best you can.
You see how cool that is? All that other shit. If I'm playing poker against you, a better hand, as we know in poker, doesn't mean you're going to win the game, right? There's bluffing. There's other techniques in the game. But if your brain instantly starts to tunnel on comparison of what other people got, what you don't have, how other people are not playing fair, how you wasn't dealt the right kind of cards, how you want to change out the person who's dealing the cards, they don't know what the fuck they doing. I hate these fucking cards, always have bad luck. All that shit you focusing on is why your strategy in poker still sucks. What would make you amazing in poker? You play the hands you are dealt. And you figure out whatever that strategy is. I don't want to hear the rest of that shit. Now, if you talk to me as a business person and you call me and say, no, I was playing business and these things went this way and it wasn't fair, and I'd be like, yo, let me call you back, and I never call you back. There's a reason for that. Because you're not talking to me about business no more. You're talking to me about your ego, and I don't give a fuck. Because I can't go nowhere with it. That shit is about as temporary as a motherfucking butterfly in my brain. It doesn't stay for long. I mean, if you ever think about butterflies, I never sit around and go, butterflies, butterflies, oh my God, butterflies, butterflies. That's a pop thought. That's how your ego is taking this situation of all these blame and this focus. Think about our community as a whole. That's how we talk. That's how we move. That's how we think. You ever been in our community long enough? When we get deep, we talk about complaining about the unfair card we was dealt. The whole social justice movement is a massive movement driving this form of thinking that once you embrace that form of thinking and then you go to your office and manage your business, you wonder why you fucking up. So when I say I hate social justice, it's because social justice is just that. It's unfair. Oh my God, they got. Oh my God, this is not right. Oh my God. Play the card you dealt, bro. Play the card you dealt. Next slide. This is wolf time. Like I said, I'm not talking, I'm sorry. Like I said, if there's any dogs in the room, I'm sure at this point you want to leave. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can put energy into things you control or things you don't control.
So here to make it real simple, you can put energy in things you control. You can put energy in things you don't control. Some of y'all put too much energy in things you don't control. It should. Go ahead.
All the energy you put toward things you don't control comes out of the energy you can put toward the things you can.
Say it one more time, because I think some people might have missed that shit. Say it one more time.
All the energy you put toward things you don't control comes out of the energy you can put toward the things you can.
So all that talk you've been using all this time about all the shit you can control, you starve the solutions of things you can control. This is why your life is stuck. So many of y'all, when y'all say my life is stuck, you spend all your fucking time complaining about shit you don't control. Oh, I hate this weather. Oh, shut up. Get a fucking umbrella. What the fuck you talking to me about this for? Like, and here's the thing. You might say, well, no, that's kind of harsh. But you got to say what game I'm playing. I'm trying to, as I rise up in competition, I got to even cut off more and more slack of shit that has no value to me. And if I want to sit around in a circle of people and they want to talk about what they don't control, I'm leaving that circle so fast. Go ahead, Corey, because he almost dropped his iPad.
You saw that?
Yeah,
I was like, whoa.
Sorry, my brain was.
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the statement you made just now, and I was thinking about the retail industry in California. All the thefts, right? So California did that stupid ass shit. California did that shit with the laws and allowed people to. So then they ransacked the stores. Guess who gave a fuck? Nobody, right? Now it's at the point to where stores are closing down and losing revenue. They said the estimated is billions of dollars in revenue lost in the retail industry. Guess who gives a fuck? Nobody. Do y'all think about that? Walmart, Target, Gucci store, anybody, any of that? You don't. So them stores is closing down now, and so stores are leaving out of the Bay Area, San Francisco, all those areas, and y'all are like, oh man, that sucks. But you don't think about all the jobs that just got lost. All the jobs in the Bay that got lost in the retail sector now, and those companies who are suffering because of those jobs. But at the end of the day, entrepreneurship says nobody gives a fuck. You got to figure it out or die, and that's it.
That's it. That's why I see these articles coming up about all these restaurants closing in the Bay Area. They're like, oh, I'm not surviving because of the theft and the crime. I'm sort of going, no. That's not, you're talking to the ordinary people, and that sounds good. To entrepreneurs, you can't. We don't make these rules, we follow these rules. And if you want to get to the same level of performance, these are rules you got to follow. You don't get to change these rules. And then once you think you can, well, you'll join the poverty hippies. Go next one. Poverty hippies. They're poor. You go to their house and they be having tea and shit. And they be eating really good earthly food and shit. But then if somebody says, hey, we're going to need to raise $1,000, they all look like they're depressed and hold their head down. Go ahead.
While no one chooses difficult circumstances, adversity provides opportunity.
Oh, wait. Well, you said, although no one chooses...
Difficult circumstances.
Okay.
Adversity provides opportunity.
Did you say adversity provides opportunity? So you remember when Corey said that the heat that creates the alloy effect? Mm-hmm. Could that possibly be adversity? Some of y'all are weak because you don't deal with, you avoid too much shit. Adversity provides opportunity. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? Look here. Don't make me get that fur coat that's around here somewhere. You understand? So this is, even when you're going through something, there's an opportunity. When you experience a negative, there's an opportunity. Let me share an insight that not sure I ever shared. Let's say Court calls me right now, like, yo, no, there's some shit going. He's called me a couple of times. It's real easy for my ego to say, oh, I know some shit Court doesn't know. It's not the case. Court just taught you a lesson earlier, but you guys missed it. It's called bounded reality. He's bounded by his reality at that moment. I mean, if you're in an environment, that becomes your boundaries. And your reality sometimes gets trapped. If you stay in the environment long enough, it starts to trap the way you think. I'm not bounded by his reality. So he'll call me and say, yo, this thing is going negative, My brain goes, there's always an opportunity here. And my feedback to him is going to be like, well, is there a play here? Is there a play there? The reason you always need to have somebody outside your circle you can call because they're not bounded by whatever you're doing. And the outside person just is going to have an angle. That's how I make all my money. I'm not smarter than none of the people I'm serving because that's a stupid-ass idea. There's no such thing. But meaning that if court wasn't bounded and I reverse shoot and talking about the same mind. No, we don't change the days, don't change any books he's ever read. We just switch roles. And I'm bounded, and I called him and said, you know what? You can kiss my ass with that laugh. But so we switch our positions, right? Then all of a sudden, you know what? Pause, y'all back. so I hate y'all sometimes. But let's say, so the key thing is that he would have the same insight I have because he doesn't have the same, because I'm limited by my environment traps the way you think. Like, for example, try to do your own marketing for your own company and watch you struggle with it, but turn around and meet a company that does exactly what you do and ideas are just flowing, right? So the reality is that you always need people around you that's outside your organization to give you feedback, because the people within inside your organization are bounded, they are suffering from bounded reality. Get that game? That's cold. So it's not, if he calls me, he's not stating none are superior to me, he's a wise guy. No, I'm not bounded. That's the thing you guys are missing. This inferior, Court said this last week. I'm showing you how dope this class, how shit he's been teaching. He said a lot of times people use this "I'm smarter than you," weaponize it to kind of egotistically shrink you. But it doesn't make, there's no such thing as I'm smarter than you. Everybody that you know is smarter than you about something. So the whole idea of saying somebody's smarter or dumber than you, that's an egotistical argument. It has no truth to it. And it's also just as damaging if you start believing you're some kind of fucking guru. You're only a guru because you're from the outside looking in. Keep rolling.
It allows us to test ourselves and see who we've become.
So adversity, you said adversity allows us to test ourselves and see who we become? Oh, keep going. This is about to get deep.
The test isn't against other people, though. It's against our former selves.
Ooh. Say it one more time, because that shit was just...
The test isn't against other people, though.
It's not against other people.
It's against our former selves.
Every moment of adversity is not about other people. It's about you seeing how you show up differently to every moment of adversity. If you keep showing up the same kind of way, you're actually moving in a retarded sense. Not retarded in an inappropriate way. You retarding your growth. Keep going.
Are we better than we were yesterday? When circumstances are easy, it's hard to distinguish ordinary people
So, okay,
from
once again, when things are easy, this is why, oh my God, I can't stand this. Motherfuckers who sit around and talk about how great they are when things are easy. Oh, it gives me a fucking headache. It gives me a headache. I literally like sitting myself going, I just want to throw it right now. What the fuck are you talking about? You fucking weirdo. Oh, you know, I'm amazing. Oh, the other day I did this and I was amazing. There's no adversity there. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, this shit you always been doing good. You know, the other day, you know, I cooked a sandwich. It was the best sandwich in the world. Oh my God, kill yourself. Keep going.
When circumstances are easy, it's hard to distinguish ordinary people
So
from
when
extraordinary
everything's easy,
ones.
everybody looks the same. Keep going.
Or to see the extraordinary within ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Now this Roman concept is fire. Read it.
As the Roman slave Publius
Cyrus.
once said, anyone can steer the ship when the sea is calm.
Go ahead, Court.
So, I got a boat, right? Brett gave me some lessons on the boat. I'm hella raw, right? With him next to me, I'm raw. We in the middle, I'm doing all donuts, doing all the shit. So one day I'll come up with an idea like, I don't need dude no more, I'm raw. Go out there by myself. I dip off by myself, but it's rocky. So I'm out there doing my thing, and as I come back, I noticed everybody came to the deck to watch because they knew I was about to fuck up. And so I'm nervous because I'm like, they sitting there watching me. I'm like, what's all these people standing there for? Like, oh shit, they watching me. So I'm trying to angle this thing in this narrow little slip in this rocky water, and I've only drove a boat twice. I crashed into everything. and then they jumping in the water trying to help me. My ego told me I was good. My ego told me when the water was still that I was raw, but I didn't second order thinking what would happen if the water changes, and we all get caught in doing that shit.
So you know when them soft compliments from your friends like, "Oh my God, you fabulous," and let's say you open the door of your business when your good friends come through and they go, "Oh my God, you're amazing." That means nothing to you. It should never. That's an ordinary moment. Ordinary moment. Now, if your team members you've been paying for the last 3 years, like, "Yo, you doing some amazing shit," that can hit you in the chest because they've seen you handle adversity. But some of y'all have people who never get a chance to see you go through nothing. Everything's always copacetic. You understand me? I don't know if y'all use that word anywhere else, but it's copacetic. And all of a sudden, you wake up one day and you realize you start believing you that person, and you don't realize you're not that person. But your ego got you fucked up. Which means you go back to that other slide, which is you start to shape the world to actually complement and give you that feeling, and then point fingers at those who don't share the idea of all the people who are coming in your world calling you amazing. Keep rolling.
The path to being exceptional begins when you decide to be responsible for your actions, no matter the situation.
Read that one more time. That's some cold shit. Because I think folks, like if folks want to be exceptional in this class, now how do I become greater? It starts with what? The path is what?
When you decide to be responsible for your actions, no matter the situation.
Have you ever been around somebody who moves like that? That means you've been around a great leader. Great leaders move like that. I'll take responsibility. I'll take that. I'll own that. I got that covered. This is what we're going to do. You're like, oh, shit. Like, if there was a formal word for the word big daddy, big mama, that person would take the responsibility no matter what the situation is. You ever lived in a neighborhood? When shit go wrong, the strong person, if y'all know if you've ever been in a healthy neighborhood, but the strong person takes control when shit gets out of control. Okay, let me help you out, because some of y'all have you ever lived in America before? What do white folks do when shit get out of control? That's why you respect those who are leadership, because they take control no matter what the situation. Y'all want to negotiate control, but y'all want to be seen as a boss. No, you don't get, that's how you rise up. And here's the thing, yes, it's going to be adversity. But adversity is what's going to make you that dope-ass person that when you walk in a room, it feels like the room just moves with you. Your reputation precedes you. You walk in a room and people almost stop talking inappropriately because how you show up to responsibilities. If you want to be ordinary, go in that room talking about why this wasn't your fault. I take this one, but I ain't taking that one. Anybody got kids? Sorry, don't look at me like you ain't told me something. But anybody else got kids? Just like how you know? Do you get a chance to choose a situation when you're not responsible? If your child runs outside the house tomorrow, finds your gun, shoots through other people's window, you say, "I didn't give him that gun." Do you understand this adulthood shit that you've never been taught? Remember Martin Luther King said in 1966, we have never experienced true manhood. Let me translate that in 2023 appropriate language. We've never experienced true adulthood. We've gotten used to talking children talk with grown-ass bodies. Now you guys want to run businesses. That's the beginning of real adult shit. You pay them taxes, right? That's some dope shit, ain't it? And do the government give a fuck about what happened and what happened that year? If that money ain't on my desk by 6 o'clock, I'm shutting all your shit down.
Taking it out.
I'm taking your fiat and every other fucking thing else. You got your scooter, everything got to go. I'm going to leave you a T-shirt and hopefully that motherfucker's long because I ain't giving you no draws. And IRS ain't no fucking, am I lying? IRS don't give a fuck. And nor should, see, that doesn't make sense if you're into the excuse world and the blame world. But once you take radical responsibility for everything that's happening to you, now that shit just feels like part of the ecosystem. You see where I'm going with this? Some of y'all are at work and they stole this from you. Because they told you, this is fair, this is not fair, this is your fault, this is not your fault. If it's not, just upload it to this person. Make sure you communicate. It's all my motherfucking responsibility. If I'm connected to it, it's my responsibility. So once you take on that level, then you're surprised they want to promote you to senior management? Yeah, that's what the fuck, because you look at the whole picture of only taking ownership. But as long as you stay your little cog and people keep passing you up, it's because you have shrunk yourself too fucking much. You're not responsible. So by being responsible for actions, no matter what situation, you begin. You decide to become responsible, you become exceptional. Then you're not exceptional, and you wonder why people won't treat you exceptional. The reason you still feel like you're being treated like you're 21, 24, 25, 26, because you're not responsible for shit. Keep rolling.
Exceptional people know they can't change the hand they've been dealt.
Look, racism is racism. It is what it is. Keep going.
And don't waste time wishing for a better one.
I wish racism wasn't here. I wish we were back in Africa. We ran amongst the earth and we was eating all the organic foods and we didn't have to deal with white supremacy. And we all look. What the fuck are you talking about, by the way? Like this part, like you ever know these organic utopia? We talked to utopia a little ways back, right? Utopia is a religious mindset. I don't know a utopia time in human history. I've been looking at a lot of human history, and it's been some fucked up shit. Even the cool moments was followed by some fucked up shit. So this utopia, earthly, Scott said it best. He said, man, he's watching Bear or some of these guys live in the wilderness. And it was up in Alaska. And he's seen how much fat the body needs for survival. And he realized at that moment, okay, y'all need to cut all this organic vegetable fruit shit out.
Veganism only works in modern society.
That's the point. Veganism can only work in modern society. If you're out there in the wilderness trying to survive, you need that food to carry your ass. You are not eating, another orange today, another apple, another fruit, another lettuce, I got some soy here and some, what's that shit that people eat that's white that people be eating?
Tofu.
Tofu. Ooh. That shit, look here, that tofu will fuck you up. Man, have you fuck around, feel like you eating some old sacrifice food. Anyway, point is this, and it's not that I'm against it in today's modern society. Stop putting the motherfucking historical stories you can't find. Like we say shit, we adopt shit so much without saying, where can we find a large group of people surviving for a long time off of this? It's not a vegetable versus meat, because sometimes people, based upon circumstances, it's just like sexual preference. There can't be one way of doing everything. There's different preferences because people have different body states and conditions. So I understand that there might have been a group of people that didn't live because they eat vegetables and fruits. I get that. I'm not arguing that. This whole romanticism of, it's only one way. It's like, come on, bro. It's not the way it works. Well, here, go ahead. Keep going.
They focus instead on how they're going to play the cards they have to achieve the best results.
So they focus instead on how they going to play the cards they have to achieve the best results. So go ahead.
They don't hide behind others.
They don't hide behind others. So they focus on cards that are being played. They don't romanticize where it should be. They don't hide behind others. Keep going.
The best people rise to the challenge.
You rise to the motherfucking challenge. Keep going.
Whatever it is.
Whatever the fuck it is. Keep going.
They choose to live up to their best self-image instead of surrendering to their defaults. Wow.
You know what your defaults is? This is how I was raised. This is where I came from. In my childhood, my last relationship, that's all defaults. You know, when I'm on these streets, I gotta survive. I'm just trying to come up. As what is your best self? I want y'all to process that. What is your best self? Have you ever thought about what your best self is? Or do you continue to reference your default? Keep rolling. I thought I was joking tonight. I ain't fucking with y'all. This is Wolf Night. Go ahead.
One of the most common mistakes people make is bargaining with the world, with how the world should work.
Wait. You said one of the most common mistakes. Hey, my pro-black people, you understand? Ungawa, Black Power, Hotel Bell. Let's try this again. One of the most common mistakes
People make is bargaining with how the world should work instead of accepting how it does work.
Okay, so all my sisters who see these toxic men who don't see me, can you say that one more time, sister?
People they bargain with how the world should work instead of accepting how it does work.
Okay, to all my LGBTQ plus and ow to all those motherfucking homophobics, can you run it back to them one more time?
They bargain with how the world should work instead of accepting how it does work.
Adios amigos to all my Latino brothers and sisters. Can you run it back to me one more time?
They bargain with how the world should work instead of accepting how it does work.
That's one of the most common mistakes people make. 'Cause, okay, do you want to die with your thoughts or do you want to make progress? That's exactly what this is saying. Keep going.
Anytime you find yourself or your colleagues complaining, that's not right, or that's not fair,
That's not fair.
or it shouldn't be that way, you're bargaining, not accepting.
Whoa, say it again. So can I just read it? Start from any time, because I want you to just take some time and, because you worked on Broadway before. So start from any time.
Anytime you find yourself or your colleagues complaining, that's not right,
That's not right.
or that's not fair,
That's not even fair. That's fucked up.
or it shouldn't be that way. You're bargaining. You're bargaining, not accepting.
You're bargaining, not accepting. You're bargaining. You're sitting, should, a cognitive distortion. Remember we talked that a long time ago? Should, a cognitive distortion. And then I gotta sit after class and hear people telling me this shit. Don't fuck with me about this shit no more, y'all. This is some backward shit. I'm a wolf. I'm looking at you like I would eat you if I had free time. This shit's whack. Go ahead, and don't you pause me for that.
Fatality.
I hate you. Go ahead, next one. Go ahead.
You want the world to work in a way that it doesn't.
You want the world to work in a way that it doesn't. Next slide.
What is not going? Okay, there we go. Failing to accept how the world really works puts your time and energy toward proving how right you are.
Uh-oh. So for those of you who like to be right, like to argue a lot, debate small stuff. No, I was right. I was right. Start from the top again. So I want you guys to like to argue about being right or like to prove you're right a lot. I want you to go ahead and turn on your high-level antenna and absorb this energy. Go ahead.
Failing to accept how the world really works puts your time and energy toward proving how right you are.
So even when you're sitting around trying to prove that, hey, racism is wrong, it shouldn't be this way, I'm going to go on social media and tear everybody out. You're evil. Ooh, keep going.
When the desired results don't materialize, it's easy to blame circumstances or others.
Please, everybody, go ahead.
I call this the wrong side of right.
It's the wrong side of right. Go ahead.
You're focused on your ego, not the outcome.
Pimp, can you say that word? Because that flash phrase is so motherfucking powerful. I think people didn't get it. The last 4 words is what?
You're focused on your ego, not the outcome. Your ego, not the outcome.
This is the rule is ego, outcome over ego. Meaning that the results you're trying to achieve, you can't achieve it because your ego is what you're focusing on. I can't tell you how many people I clipped from my circle because they became overwhelming with their egotistical talk as opposed to stay focused on the outcome. One thing about my team, all my team members at Fire Team Media, I jammed them up hard. Pause. I hate you. Matter of fact, do me a favor. Next time Dre comes to class, put some headsets, because I know Dre ways are weird, and I can read his ways. Anyway, I'm just saying, because I know you pause and you can just pick, he's fastest in the world. Pause. No, trust me. You got to be in the office with us. But here's the thing. So I come at everybody rough sometimes, right? You know why my team's the strongest team in the world? No, because they rise up to the occasion and fight hard and come back. And they come back swinging. They don't sit in the corner and build teams of, ooh, we hate Nana, Now, I don't say, Dre, your locks are ugly as fuck. That's personal. Then he'd be like, man, what? What the fuck? Right? That's not how I come at him. I come at Dre hit the fucking button. But the point is this. I may say, Dre, that's some whack shit you produced. Dre said, well, how can I do better? What did I do wrong? He's much more powerful than the person who be like, you don't talk to me like that. In the outcome, Dre doesn't have to go to a corporate job working for white folks and doing shit he don't give a fuck about. He gets to collaborate with some dope-ass black folks, build some dope-ass shit. He continues to grow his economic and his value day in and day out. He didn't get there from playing the ego over outcome. 510 Media is full of employees who put outcome over ego. All the ones who came to 510 Media and tried to put the ego first, they got fired as fast as I can think about it. Why is that true? Because as you learn, I'm going to take you to this dog series, I'm going to get to the point where my personality is going to show up. And you'll be like, got it. But if you don't understand this personality, to avoid people like me, it's being ordinary. Because as you rise up, I'm the norm. And you're going to get there maybe third or fourth series. Keep rolling. Next slide.
Solutions appear when you stop bargaining and start accepting the reality of the situation.
So stop. That shit's fucking fire. So Nana, can you teach me strategy? No, because you fucking are a victim too fucking much. You want to bargain with reality all the fucking time? It shouldn't be this way. I wish it would have never happened. Oh my God, I can't believe I got burned. I can't believe I lost my money. I can't believe white people. I can't believe men and women. I can't believe my boyfriend, girlfriend, husband. I can't believe my goddamn kids. I can't believe the school they in. I can't believe, oh my God. Can you help me, Nana? Fuck no. I can't help you because you're in a state of mind that's unhelpable. If I help you, you're depending on me. If you don't depend on me, now we're playing a pimp game. And I'm not going to do that with you because I don't pimp no more. Look here, you know what it is. I'm just playing. Just playing. You understand me? No, look here. I'm not that
you know the rules of the game.
So let's go this real quick. So solutions appear when you stop bargaining and start accepting the reality of the situation. You know, there's people that says, Nana, sometimes you offend me when you use the pimp talk. Does it really? Some people says to me, Nana, it offends me when you curse. Does it really? You can't hear the lesson because of you that got you, huh? So if an apple gets bruised, you can't eat it no more, huh? Oh, I got you. Okay. I don't think it's me, baby. You see where I'm going with this? Once you can accept reality for what it is, your brain can start taking off. You become a strategy master. You say, oh, okay, that's what it is. It is what it is. All right, now what's my options? But as long as you can't say it is what it is, you are stuck right there and the options are not exposed to you. They're not available to you. This is why, I had a hard day. It is what it is. What happened? How we move the fuck on? Not, what? They did what to you? Oh my God. No, she did say that to you. So what'd you say? I know you sure must be feeling some kind of way. Once you gonna get yours Epsom salt. My wife tell you that conversation don't happen. Oh, hey, look here. I don't know that whole self-pampering shit. So you can obviously know I'm not the dude. Y'all go to Napa. Only way you gonna catch me in Napa is they got some free food. Anyway, keep going.
That's because focusing on the next move rather than how you got here in the first place opens you up to a lot of possibilities.
Optionality, baby. Keep going.
When you put outcome over ego, you get better results.
When you put outcome over ego, you get better results. When you put outcome over ego, you get better results. That shit should be on your wall. When you put outcome over your ego, you'll get better. Why do you think we spend motherfucking 3 or 4 months teaching about ego's the enemy? Because it's stopping you from getting the outcomes you deserve. Y'all been in here trying to play old church move. I know, I just need to pray more and repent for my ego. No, fix your fucking ego so you can get the outcomes you want. I'm not here for that. Pastor Chris, because mind you, his role is just as important as my role, whether you know it or not, if not 10 times more, because he answers those bigger questions I can't answer. Outcome over ego is critical. Do you understand how much shit you sabotage daily? Because do you know how many collaborations you didn't engage in and partnerships and opportunities you didn't engage in because your ego says ego over outcome? How many people you didn't talk to that could have took your life to another level because ego was over outcome? How many times you didn't even say, hey, can you tell me what I'm doing wrong, and could have got all the game you ever needed because ego over outcome? Do you understand how you move? You move in a way that you actually build a shield around you that says you have no access to me because I have to protect what? My motherfucking ego. And then you watch court just said it to you. Then the person who's in a different situation, they flying by you. Because they learn to put that ego down. You're like, how the fuck you get way up there, bro? Man, my ego been gone, bro. Back in the days, I used to have motherfuckers who want to like learn from me. Nana, can you put me on with 510 Media? I said, come volunteer sometime. Volunteer? Okay, well, next. Your ego. Are you fucking serious? Cam Newton just come up to him, yo, we pay you $5 million. Just quarterback 1 year for Jets, because, you know, our boy just fucked his ankle or knee or whatever, some Achilles up. This motherfucker said, $5 million, you're insulting me. You been out of the league for 2 years, bro. Last time you was in the league, for the last 3 years, you stunk. He said, nah, $5 million, you're insulting me. Okay. There's gonna come a point where we be like, what the fuck was I thinking? He didn't put outcome over ego. Let's say he went back that 1 year and he was just started getting off. All of a sudden, he's 34. He can go from 34 to 39 and probably take home $200 million because he performed. The reason nobody fuck with him because the years you did take the minimum amount of money, you suck so bad. People are like, all right, you're the last dude left, man. Can we give you $5 million? Really, they should say it just because on GP. Yo, once you come from the Jets on GP, and hey, look at me, I'll give you 3 McDonald's meals and a hotel room at Motel 6, man. You good? He should be like, man, good, let's go. I'm serious. I'll come over ego because you ain't that good, bro. If you want a better room, upgrade on yourself. If you don't want McDonald's, man, well, give it to your kids, get something else. like honestly, you ain't performed. It's different if you performing every year, you're scoring touchdowns, and then I offer you $5 million. I get it. But what he did was he looked at the cats was getting $250 million for 5 years. He's like, oh, I'm better than at least 30-something people in the league. Bruh, that's the reason you're not in the league right now. You've been at home for 2 years. I'm giving you $5 million just to come up here and possibly fuck up. Fuck wrong with you? Damn, pretty boy Floyd. Anyway, let's go. Where we at? This one.
You can't control everything.
Shakina, this is what they told me last week. This court told me to tell you this, but I didn't want to say it, and Sasha wrote it on the board. So court told me to tell you, Shakina, you can't control everything. Go ahead.
But you can control your response, which makes circumstances better or worse.
So how you respond? Court, just talk this shit, huh? How you respond could make shit better or worse. At a point you're going through something, it's a decision to make. Do you want to make this shit better or worse? Because it ain't going to stay the same no matter how you respond. Do you make it better or worse? Keep going.
Each response has an impact on the future, taking you either a step closer to or a step further from the outcomes you want and the person you want to be.
So, depends on how you respond to everything you go through will take you closer to where you want to be or further away from where you want to be. Your response, ain't that some shit? Woofs. Your response, your fucking response to the way it hits you will impact where you end up when this thing is over. You don't get to respond like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old kid. That's a kid. That's somebody who hasn't learned how to control their emotions. Some of y'all, 40 years, sounding all weird. Next slide.
One effective question to ask yourself before you act is, will this action make the future easier or harder?
This is game. When you're going through shit, whatever you do, when something happens, you have your emotional hit. Close your mouth, breathe, take deep breaths, right? And then ask yourself the simplest question: whatever I do next, will it make the situation easier or harder moving forward? Keep going.
This surprisingly simple question helps change your perspective on the situation and avoid making things worse.
Some of y'all have made so much shit worse that you're only fighting against your behavior. Your past behavior is your greatest obstacle right now because you built that shit up so high that all the stuff you're dealing with, your behavior, all the past negative decisions you made in the past, they compound. They become your brand. So now in the future you say, can I? And people are like, oh, no, I'm good. Fuck, what the fuck? How you don't trust me? You trust that person. You don't see the invisible decisions they made. So adversity is defining you. Not ordinary moments. Adversity is defining you. And if you keep showing up to adversity a certain kind of way, you're creating this compound, you're creating this wall, branded wall of who you are that's going to impact so many things that's going to happen to you, how people are going to engage you. Let's say I saw you not show up to being responsible, and you have a service I can refer. I'm not going to refer your business because I don't trust the way you will show up to your responsibilities. Even you saw it was invisible, no one said anything. You have to remember that you must be conscious of that. Don't look for support or rewards. Keep rolling.
As my grandfather and many others used to say, if you find yourself in a hole, the first thing you need to do is stop digging.
So even when you're feeling irritated, okay, let me speak the language of, I think it's the ancient Egyptian culture before the first 18th dynasty. When you feel yourself in a situation that's really bad, shut the fuck up. Literally, shut the fuck up. Like, literally, just shut the fuck up. Go inside your mind and have a conversation. Go and get all that crazy shit out your mouth that you're gonna say inside your brain. And then when you open your mouth, take time to think about, will this action make the future easier or harder? Know that you go, yeah, you're human. I feel like, no, not this motherfucker. I swear to God, I could pour acid on this motherfucker. I hate him so goddamn much. Actually, man, I think we should go this way. That's how it works. Because you're playing a game. This game's called, don't be true to yourself. That shit keeps, self never stays around when the results from being true to it comes around. You ever notice that? Somehow when that penalty come along, you be like, oh, they doing me wrong. Self be like, oh, I don't know where this came from. I don't know how this happened. Self never has your fucking back. So stop trying to be true to that motherfucker. Be true to your goals or where you want to go. Next slide. So, this situation here, we flew through these slides. We're almost done. So this situation here was he went for a job and he didn't get this job, right? And this is a conversation he had with his mentor. So he's having this conversation with his mentor. He went for a job, he didn't get the job. He says, and as he's talking, did we skip a slide? Go back a slide. Mm-mm. So as he went through the slide, okay, anyway, he says, so he's telling his mentor, man, the other person wasn't qualified. I think this is, he goes, and his mentor stops him and goes, wait. Before you go any further, and this is what he says. Go ahead.
You're refusing to accept something that already happened, he said, and that's crazy.
Crazy, he said, I replied?
Yes, it's already happened. You can't argue with it.
Keep going.
Listen, it really sucks. You're more than qualified, but you didn't get it, and there's a reason you didn't get it. The key here is to stop blaming others and take ownership.
Come on.
I let his point sink in. He was right. The
Go ahead.
world didn't just happen to me. It wasn't out to get me. I needed to look inside myself, honestly assess what I'd contributed to this outcome, and update my way of doing things.
That's it. When shit don't go your way, it's time for an update. You know your phone always get these updates? Do you know when it's time for your updates? When shit don't go the way you want it to go, that is a cue. It's time for you to update yourself. Too many of y'all want to go continue to use that old ass software thinking you've been using for so many years. Motherfuckers on iPhones and shit, and you still flipping your phone open. Talking about this is Star Tech. Yeah, that goes back. For some of y'all be like, Star Tech? Yeah, 1990 something. In 2023, motherfuckers on Galaxy 23 and iPhone 14 and 15, and motherfuckers over here talking about, yeah, my shit, it has this antenna and shit. It won't even be, it just bends all, it won't even break. This is how y'all move through life. Life has been telling you, update yourself. Every time something doesn't go your way, don't focus on what other people could have did differently. And when you run across racism, don't focus on the racism too long. Like you gotta learn to examine it, to see its face and know how it shows, because racism is disguised. A lot of times racism works like the water's getting hot and you just think that's something like, I don't know, I must be having a hot flash, and then you die. Like literally, right? So you gotta know to see the water, but once you see it, don't sit there and be like, this is some bullshit. I don't understand why I can't, my ancestors went through this shit. When is this shit gonna ever stop?
My nervous system.
My nervous system. My
your
blood
nervous
pressure going
system.
up.
Fuck your
No,
nervous system.
sit down and say to yourself,
Fuck it.
it is what it is. I see it. Cool. Now, what are my fucking options? You lose, let's say you have the worst month in business ever, had a bad month. What is it that we need to update that we're doing wrong? When COVID was happening, and COVID was something I didn't control, ask my team, and we sit down and talk about updating all the time. How do we think about this differently? Dre came to me, no details, somebody offering him a contract. Dre was in the old mode, right? And Dre was making money this way. I was like, Dre, update your software, bro. We had I think the conversation was like 3 minutes. He's like, yo, thanks, fam. Next thing you know, he's floating through COVID. He had to update his software. He could have sat there and complained, and me, he could have been back and forth on, that shit's shady, I think I deserve, And guess what? He's drowning. Instead, I was like, yo, man, that software ain't around no more. Update that shit. He updated that shit, 3 or 4 minutes. But you know what's allowed him to update that shit? He's humble enough to update it. Some of y'all, not a side with that motherfucker. You think I'm joking. This is shit I hear. This is shit I hear. Oh, you attacked me. Motherfucker, how? If I didn't somehow get money out your bank account and put it in my bank account, you have never been attacked. If I didn't slap the shit out of you because I was practicing my swings, you wasn't attacked. That's it, I ain't got no more. You weren't attacked. Get that shit out of here. This is sorry shit out of here all the time. Oh, I was offended. How the fuck are you offended by me? Now, if I come for you, I say, yo, you are ugly, and I don't know why God made your ugly ass. You have the right to be offended. But if I didn't go to that fucking point, I just said, that was some stupid shit you did, and you thought I said you're ugly as fuck, what the fuck is, do you understand how you think like a dog? This is why my wolf ass don't talk to you. When you come to talk to me, I'll get, oh shit, hold on a second. I think there's an Amber Alert. Why? Oh yeah, it's only on my phone. I call you back. Get the fuck out of here. Next slide. Let's see if we're done. We should almost be done. Is that it?
This is,
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
as I left my mentor's office, the implication was clear. If I couldn't learn self-accountability, I wasn't going to get very far.
If you can't learn self-accountability, you're not gonna get very far. It ain't gonna be white supremacy slowing you down. It's your self-accountability that's stopping you from getting where you need to go. White supremacy is not stopping you, son. No, it's extra friction. Mm-hmm. It's real. It's extra friction. I mean, we're not a racism denier. This shit's out there, but it's not insurmountable. It's not an extension of God. For you Christians, it's probably an extension of the devil. And I thought y'all believe in God. I thought y'all the winning team. Y'all be acting like y'all lose every time. Oh God, here they come. You know we can't ever score. You both don't even try no more. Y'all just dribble till the clock run out. Like, why shoot? We ain't gonna make it anyway. you're not playing the right games. You spend too much time focusing on things you don't control. You've played a fairness game. Do you see how this is an anti-social justice message I just taught you guys? How this is why when I say I hated it for business people, because I already saw this flaw in the business community, and then when you pour this social justice on top of it, it's like pouring gasoline on top of the fire. It ignites that shit. Now you were talking about, yeah, this is unfair, that was unfair, this is unfair, this is unfair. Yo, we're the business people. My mentor, I saw my mentor today. My mentor, he thinks like nobody else. Just like nobody else. He says, shit, the Muslims come over tomorrow, I guess I'll be saying assalamu alaikum as I make my money. Like literally, he's like, I gotta keep shit moving. Think about that. If Islam was to come over here tomorrow somehow and say, dominate, do you just die or do you survive? And survive would mean that I also try to protect my loved ones. That means you got to build to protect your loved ones. Anytime you want to be in a role of protection, it's a role of radical responsibility. Entrepreneurship, radical responsibility. High leadership, radical responsibility. So you know when we teach you guys radical responsibility, I just gave you a deep insight. We got part 2, part 3, part 4, and then we're gonna bring it all together as one. And we're gonna conclude the mindset of a wolf. This is the beginning of the mindset of a wolf. So we call ourselves the wolf versus the dog. Dogs don't talk like the shit we talked about tonight. If I said to a dog, everything that happens to you is your responsibility, dog's already coming up with a list of, what about this? What about this? I don't think this is, I just can't accept that. But wolf says, yeah, I don't like it all. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but that discomfort is what made me great. The gym. You go work out with Shakina right now. Let's say you want to get the 2-layer six-pack. She did not just say that, a 6-layer under these 2 layers. Yeah, what's this? Let's say you want to get the 2-layer six-pack. You're not going to get that six-pack by doing what you want to do. You know, can you ever say, like, okay, how many of you guys have went to the gym and just really wanted to do what you wanted to do? Right? And did you get anything from it? You don't get nothing from that. Even if you do that shit for 3 or 4 years, you don't get nothing from that. Going to the gym is doing the shit you don't want to do. All the time. Some of that shit, what she said, some of it hurts. It fucking hurts. I mean, sometimes, like, I ran the stairs, and I hadn't run the stairs in 2 weeks. And I got this morning, I was like, damn, what's wrong with my calves? The motherfucker said, do not walk. And I'm over here like, I'm going to fight you. And he's like, okay, well, we're going to fight you back. Okay. so
fatality.
So in that context, but I'm doing that to a point that I'm maintaining a certain conditioning, a certain type of body, certain type of strength, right? The long term of it is like, okay, so for example, I just started seeing the weight loss in the last 2 months. The first 8 months, I didn't see it. It was staying consistent. These principles we're teaching you, break them if you want. Go to the gym and do what the fuck you want if you want. Take days off if you want. Blame your body if you want. Eat sugar and tell yourself that sugar shouldn't do this anymore. It shouldn't be like this if you want. And wake up tomorrow and realize when the doctor tells you got diabetes or your PSA is too high or some other shit, understand you contribute to that shit. But guess what? That being true to self will just change positions again. I don't know what he's talking about. You know, we ain't got nothing to do with this. These doctors don't even use the right kind of chemicals. You know, brother called me about this one time. He ain't in the class no more, so I ain't gonna tell you his name, but motherfucker called me and said, yeah, I went to the doctor. My blood pressure was high. And I told them they were running the wrong test. Told them that they should have used these other chemicals to test this other stuff. Because, see, this is what the white man, I said, let me ask you something, man. How many days you work out? Well, you know, I try to get out every once in a while. I do a walk with my wife and everything. I said, well, you shut your fat ass up and go work out. Stop blaming the motherfucking doctors. That's what I was doing. Now, y'all might say, that was me being kind. Your nice ass wouldn't have said anything like, oh, what? The doctor said what? Well, you know, you got to fight for your life out there. That's what nice people would say. I was being kind when I say, shut your fat ass, because you fat, and you ain't working out, and you've been lying to yourself, and the shit's compounding, and now you want to blame the motherfucking doctors, who that's all their job is to just run these tests, get these results, and warn you about your death is coming. And your ass want to sit there and be like, oh, the doctor is coming against me because he didn't run this unknown test, and he didn't even fucking know what you're talking about. Because it's some ancient Egypt or somewhere in some other country, you done read some other shit on Google and shit. Now you're a motherfucking physician with your 0 degree. Right? And so what I'm arguing, my point is really, really simple. I could have been nice. But see, he's talked to nice people. All those nice people surround him. They be like, yeah. Because when he talked to me, he was confident. He didn't say shit. He didn't whisper like, yeah, man, you know what I'm thinking it might be? I think it's this test they didn't run. He was like, no, let me tell you, brother. The issue is they didn't run the test on me. And they run this test on me. I would have known, brother. He would have known that I didn't have this kind of problem. If you don't shut your stupid ass up. I said, no, you got motherfucking kids, partner. You about to leave your kids behind because of this dumbass philosophy you have? Take some fucking responsibility for your life and go work the fuck out and be here for your fucking kids. That's exactly what I said. Unapologetically. I was being kind. Because, motherfucker, you lost focus. Now, when you die, because all you nice motherfuckers surrounding him, and his kids are suffering, and all you nice motherfuckers don't want to give the kids no money, you ain't supporting, you ain't babysitting, you ain't doing shit. Besides having your distance nice ass review. What my kind ass said, I'm coming at you straight. Because in the end, I fucking care. Or if I was being nice, I really don't care about you because I'm egotistical too. Y'all see that? So if you want me to lower my ego, that means I'm going to be honest with you. We play the ego game, I'm going to protect my niceness because I got to protect what I look like. I'll tell you have a booger that might make you look weird. Go ahead. Kaja, your question. Shigita, go ahead. Microphone. Scott, Shigita, microphones. This cat, boy, I tell you this. He ain't the same cat no more. I'm telling
It's
you, boy.
okay. I got
He
you.
done did his DNA test. He done fucked around, found some black in him. Just do the shit right. Go ahead. This cat like, well, shit, I thought this is what we do. Get your ass back to work.
You Scott alone. Shit.
Oh, God.
I love my people. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Shoot. All right. So, all of this under the context that this is like wolf conversation.
Yes, it is.
So this is not the conversations we go out and have with everyday people because most people are not wolves. So when you're saying the nice versus kind, I am making an assumption, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that I want to be to the outside public somewhere in between because I have to protect relationships and trust and feelings, right? Like if I'm speaking to like my staff or my clients, I can't just be like, hey, your fat ass ain't showed up to your workouts. What the fuck's going on? Like that's finna go bad, right? So
Okay, that's why I'm not training y'all. That's why I'm not training. Because y'all know. They be like, yep, that bitch in the last 42 days.
Fatality.
But go ahead. Test for 1, 2, 3. I'm up. Here you go. Go ahead.
right? So I gotta be like, all right. I know that
Integrity. Think about integrity. That's a missing factor. What can you say, or how can you position yourself in a dialogue? It's somebody like, oh, I'm sure going through something. Well, listen, let's work on it. I didn't say it's not your fault. I said let's work on it. You see, like there's way. I don't
would it
move
be
with
like a partnership type thing,
Well, because I have integrity and I'm never going to speak in a way. If I see you picking up a habit that I know is going to cause damage, like for example, let's say you drink Coca-Cola in its pureness every day, right? We all know that. Everybody studies it out. You can't drink a bottle of Coke, 16 ounces of Coke every day, right? I'm not going to go buy you a 6-pack for your birthday. I'm not going to do that, right? Maybe I think of what is your favorite food? What food can I buy that is lying with my integrity and still have that space with you? So there's ways to still position, because what you don't want to happen is when they wake up, they realize you was lying to them. And God forbid they found you knew. If let's say they had you on the Kaja one day, you're like, yeah, I just absolutely don't believe in that. I just think that this is something I just learned to say, and they hear it and they're like, so this whole time you've been telling me that's okay? Fuck is that about? So what I do is I just don't say nothing at all if you're too fragile and just position towards integrity, or I try to come with positive reinforcement for these. I'm giving you the harsh version for you to process it so it can be real to you. But what I'm trying to show to somebody that's not being responsible, like for example, let's say you're going through something, instead of me going, look, I don't want to hear these fucking excuses. I say something like, okay, I know what you're going through is hard, but what do you think you can do? This is the same thing, right? I offered a peaceful, kind space towards you without me saying, all this crying ain't gonna really change shit, right? Like in the end, it's like, that's spilled milk. But they hit my car. Yeah, but it's over with. I'm not sure why we're having this conversation anymore. Any day, what are you gonna do? Right? By having that tone, well, I'm dealing with this stress. Yeah, I know this stress is this because that's natural, but everybody goes through that stress, and that's natural for you. Okay, go through this, but still you gotta make this decision, right? You see how I'm on the right side of the conversation. I never lend myself to start to have the other side because I'm protecting my brand. I never compromise my brand to make people feel comfortable. Otherwise, I'm doing the same thing I don't want people to do for me. Because if we're all nice, because you're being nice, I'm saying, you learn to hold a certain standard of, because I want to talk to a trainer that's serious about training. I don't want to talk to a trainer that's always being like, oh, you're okay, you're good. Don't worry. Is it too hard? Okay, if you don't want to, that's all right. I want a trainer to be like, come on, get your ass up, cut it out. You know why you here, let's go, right? But without beating me up and making me feel like, because in the end, where I am is because of the past, not where I'm going. Your job is to get me where I'm going. So if you over-focus on talking about where I came from, you're doing the same thing we just talked about. You're still wrong. The past is, let's move on. You shouldn't be fat. No, you are fat. Who gives a fuck? Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Me saying you shouldn't be is me trying to, now I'm bargaining with the past. There is no bargaining with the past. The thing is, let's bargain with what we're going to do today, we're going to do tomorrow. And last time I messed up, that's cool. That's gonna happen because in this long game, every day ain't gonna be perfect. But you only got this many mess ups you want to think about. How we move forward, and how do we reduce these mess ups? But if I start saying, yeah, you suck in that. If I was you, if I would go back to my past and change everything, come back in this motherfucker 30 pounds lighter because you've been fucking up in the last 6 months. No, you're bargaining with the past. You're not helping anything move forward. So in the end, as a trainer, you have a way out because if you use this concept, you could pat people on the back like, hey, let's move past the past. That happened. Your weight, that happened. Your illnesses, that happened. Now let's move forward. Because it's no different. I heard somebody say, they were talking about, I was listening to Mace and Cameron. They're funny as fuck, I promise you. Mm-hmm. Like when I finish, sometimes I'm reading all these deep books, and so in order to lower my, release my brain, I gotta listen to Man Talk. And that's Man Talk for me, Cameron and Mace, because it's just funny as fuck. And he said it was on a football. He's talking about Bill Belichick. He said, yeah, but Bill Belichick wants to live off his reputation, and Mace is like, that don't make no fucking sense. Because if I'm a football player, I don't get to say, look what I used to do. I only care about what you're gonna do for me now, right? That's the same principle I taught tonight. I don't give a fuck how many scores you. I don't give a fuck what you built in the past. I don't give a fuck how smart you was in the past. Whatever the fuck you did, it means nothing. What are you gonna do for me now? That whole argument, I used to be, please stop trying to argue the value of your ego. Let's focus on the outcome. I don't give a shit about your ego, what your ego say you was, your reputation, what books you read, who you sat next to, what goals you achieved in the past. What are you doing right now? Because that's all egotistical talk. Even degrees are egotistical talk. It's okay to reference a degree after the outcome, not before the outcome. I got a doctor's degree. How many people hire those motherfuckers and realize you're stupid? I don't know what kind of grades you got. What the fuck? Tricks are for kids. Is that the kind of grades you got? What the fuck is that? Oh, cereal box ass degree. Anyway, point is this. And so the reality is that the more you realize, that's ego talk. In the entrepreneur world, no one gives a fuck about that shit. If Court Smith comes up to you and say, I'm going to make outfits for you. If he's amazing, he's the man. If his outfits are terrible and he has a PhD in clothing, he's trash. The outcome over ego. Stop all this ego talk. That's that corporate bullshit. I'm the director of the 2nd degree of the 3rd, 4th rank of the 6th, 8th level of the presidency of the CEO department. Shut your broke ass up. Are you going to perform or not? If you perform, I will call you the CEO of the 3rd rank of the CEO of the president of the 3rd rank of the presidential. I'll call all that shit if you perform at the highest level. But if you asking for that and you ain't performed, And some of y'all start the conversation right there. Oh, you don't know me. You don't know me is another egotistical argument. I don't need to know you. I look at the outcome, and you trash.
Fatality.
So you get go this like once you understand like that's how you're measured by your outcome. Ego over outcome. I don't want to, and just because you did a good job the last time doesn't mean you're gonna do a great job the next time. Which we'll get into how to achieve that and how to maintain, because we're gonna get into the solutions. A lot of heavy solutions. But first I need to expose and pull this stuff out and separate this. And also I'm trying to highlight the shit when Courtney's teaching this class. Please, just chime in. He's giving y'all some heavyweight shit that's active. A lot of these strategies I can teach you because, okay, a lot of these business strategies I can offer you, you will never access them if you don't get these basics. And by the time I get to the end of the Wolf series, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. You'll say, oh, that's why I can't do these things? Yes, these are the reasons you can't do these things because your base is fucked up. If you're bargaining with reality, I can't talk to you about being exceptional. If you want to perform like Michael Jordan, which is exceptional in business, in life, if you want to perform like anybody you could think of that's performing, they're exceptional people. But you'll never get there because you're bargaining with reality. Is that some cool shit? Self-accountability. There's 4 subjects we're going to break into. And Court already hit some of them. Self-accountability is the first one. Next week, we're going to fire it up and go to the next one. And watch out say, fuck. And when you look at your community, so right now, when you leave here tonight, listen to self-accountability from the music to television to online to friends in the streets and watch how rare that shit is. And then you wonder why we are oppressed. That being said, don't you dare. As they say in Berkeley, have a good night.